Helpful if we
Yes.
need to review stuff later too.
Yeah, we're making our own
I
podcast.
don't know how okay I am with my stupidity being recorded.
It can't be any worse than mine.
Can't be any
Well,
worse than last week.
Mostly
before.
for our own
Hello.
purposes. Hello.
Hello.
You know, we're all a little dumb here. It's fine.
Did you manage to sort out your spells and stuff just in case we get into combat?
Yeah.
Except if I knew how to do that.
Okay, what was the other spell that you wanted?
The cantrip, mending.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think I can fix that up for you real quick.
Here, Marcus going, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can.
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I mean, he can.
this is a world of my creation.
Just
I
notice
am
my
a god.
thingy is transparent.
Your thingy is transparent?
My icon in Roll20.
Oh, yeah. It's because you probably did a PNG.
Probably.
Oh, that's
I came
fun.
across something and I bet it posted ages ago, but I'll save it until we're actually playing D&D.
I saw that. Oh, I should not talk so loud. I saw that a day or two ago, and I was going to send it to you.
Because I seen that and instantly thought about you in this game.
Listen,
Perfect.
I know a character that needs that.
Oh my
No,
god.
no, he needs he needs a baby still.
No.
Do you want to make that for our Grim Hollows game?
I
that you can ride
do.
around on Cerese's back?
I do.
Oh my god,
Nothing
you guys
is
play.
more deadly than the back halfling.
Listen now. I might need to have my other character named Dudley Goober. He's a little African boy, but
Well, would you look at that thing right there? That
Are
thing
you
right
are
there
you
looks
playing
real mighty
Grim
fine.
Hollow? Really? That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our Thursday night game.
Have you heard about the player's handbook that they're kickstarting?
I sent it to my DM as soon as I saw it.
That's rad.
Look at this. I want this.
Okay, very quick recap for Avisa. Go.
I watched the video.
Okay. But
Okay.
We already had a recap. Like
Which I don't remember. Which deity did you settle on for your character?
Shandical, the deity of Wanderers?
Wanderers.
To the fucking ABCs.
Wanderer.
Wanderers. Wanderers. Fuck. I need painkillers.
Mm.
Sorry, I probably should have gone over this with you any
Oh, no,
time in the last week.
It is okay.
There we go.
Shandical. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, they had their whole situation last time, observing like an entire city be destroyed? Question
Obliterated,
mark.
essentially.
Yeah. And so whilst that was happening to them, since you're the new one here, Avisa, it's time to pick on you.
Oh.
So we get the previously on, right, in the framing of the show, and we get the flashback scenes to like Cass, your character sitting out in the wheat field, like playing an instrument, and then meeting with the strange old man. We cut across to Amaya's character, Shanks's character. We see like each of these unusual moments talking about an imminent fate where these people will have something happen to them, and we get a few like shots of like the town itself and like a distant view of El Terrell, and then the darkening of the sky and the destruction, and you know, like all of the other scenes that kind of transpired that brought them to where we left off last time. When the camera comes back this time, however, it's with a meanwhile elsewhere, and where do you think your character was while this was happening, Avisa? I'm curious.
That is a good question. I hadn't actually considered that. I'm assuming she would be en route, possibly traveling along the road or whatnot.
Yeah, okay. So you're just like heading from place to place. Maybe you were heading to the town in question.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, like you perhaps know of El Terrell by reputation as a place with kind of like a holy theocratic bent, produces a lot of food, has a strong like military background, like whatever your reason might have been for visiting there, if for business or curiosity. Um I
Most likely to restock.
Right. Okay, cool. So you were headed in to get supplies and then head back out into the wilderness then?
Mm-hmm.
Um so yeah, as you're making your way along the road, or are you traveling through the wilderness? You think you would go
See,
overland
either
or
one would be entirely normal. She's not too picky about how she travels, but for the sake of it, let's just say wilderness.
Sure, okay, so you're traveling overland through like tree and brush and yeah, you know, we kind of follow your character for a little bit, and we kind of get the impression of what she's about before, even at the distance you are from Eltergard, which is the smaller village that your soon to be companions were in. Uh,
Hmm.
like you still feel the rumbling in the earth, and like, you know, you're a druid, you're kind of like connected to nature, and like that is an unusual thing. And it spooks the animals all around you, right? Like birds like take wing trying to get away, like squirrels and rabbits and other small woodland creatures are immediately sent scurrying by something that they did not expect. And usually I think we would expect that animals would know what's happening well before anyone who walks on two legs. So given that, what do you do?
Given the fact that she would be very much aware that animals often have far more common sense than any intelligent being would, common sense would dictate that she would follow their route. But she was also taught to help if people were in need. So, against her own better judgment, she would start heading towards the source of the ruckus.
All right, cool. So you
Against her best judgment.
right, against your better judgment, you feel a pull towards the shaking and the sound. Um and so I think the camera follows you as you kind of like hurry through the brush. And you emerge from between like some trees and some bushes, and you're standing on like a ridge that like has a tableau that spreads out in front of you of what should be like the wheat fields and like the bucolic pastures of the region that surrounds the city of El Terrell. And before you see fields aflame and ruptured earth, and far in the distance there are shattered buildings, and the familiar rise of the city of El Terrell, because perhaps you have seen it before, is just gone, replaced by a column of smoke.
That sentence had too many syllables. Apologize.
Oh, dear Lord.
God damn.
Well, that is not a good thing.
And yeah, as you're peering out over this, you hear like a snap of like a branch in the woods behind you, as though something is approaching. Uh, what do you do?
Turn in the direction of the noise, one hand going to the quarterstaff, but just sort of as a reflex kind of thing.
Yeah, so you're reaching towards your weapon just in case. You turn, and like pushing his way out from between like tree and bush is this well-dressed, dapper-looking gentleman wearing kind of like an anachronistic tailed coat and wearing a pair of like glasses with round lenses of colored glass, and like his hair is like fixed nicely, and he's got a cane in one hand, and like despite the fact that he would have clearly had to have been coming through the forest the same way as you don't see any dirt or grime on his clothing. You don't see any leaves or twigs that have like adhered themselves to the fabric of his coat. And he just kind of like gestures towards you in greeting, and he's like, "Ah, hello."
Mm, Several things would be amiss with seeing that, considering where he came from and what was around. Of course, suspicion would be on a moderate level due to all
Sure.
of that,
You could
but
make
not
okay. Sorry, go ahead.
but not enough a reason to act anything other than neutrally.
Sure, you
However,
could.
she would find the eyes peculiar and wonder if that was of a particular race that she'd heard of in past.
Yeah, because he kind of like, like lowers his head a little bit, and like, his glasses slide down a little bit, and you can see that like the pupils of his eyes look more like a goat's than a human's.
Mm.
Um, and I mean, if you want to make like a nature check, you can, to see if you know anything about something like this, which you can do simply by just clicking on the word nature in your skill list.
Nature. Sure. Okay. Is this a normal roll?
Yes. Well, um, okay. So there are a
I'm off
lot of
with a
things.
start.
There are a lot of things this could be, and I think perhaps given the situation you find yourself in, like your mind is probably racing, like reaching for anything, and it's hard to come up with anything in particular, right? Like it could be some obscure form of tiefling, it could be, some kind of devil, maybe.
Who
Like
knows?
there's a lot of things, and it's hard to pin down anything in particular.
Distracted as she is by the field of flames and the
Yeah.
derelict city, maybe it's just a little all much to take in. Either way, she'd give a guarded nod of greeting in return.
Yeah, and he kind of like looks past you towards the scene in the distance with kind of a meaningful like expression on his face that's somewhere between like, I don't know, like sadness, but also just like a resolute understanding that this was a thing that had to happen. Um and he's just like, terrible sight, isn't it?
Make a noise of agreement and say, "What happened?"
Oh, that's a very long and complicated story. Something that involves destiny and contracts. But unfortunately, we're running late, you and I. And he reaches into his coat and pulls out like a pocket watch and flips it open so that he can look at it for a moment, and then closes it again and sticks it back into his pocket.
That, with every instinct she has screaming at her that she should probably be getting the heck out of there, she would very carefully ask, "Late for what?"
Oh, well, your companions are already getting into trouble. and it wouldn't do if you weren't there to help them.
Companions?
Yes. Group of people who were in the wrong place at exactly the right time to be able to do something about all of this. You seem like the kind of person who might be interested in helping. Or am I wrong?
You aren't wrong. But I really would like a little more information on this.
Yeah, and he puts the cane like in front of himself with both hands like on the top of it, and kind of like looks at you for a long moment, and like he's thinking about it, right? Like, what can he say? What should he say? And ultimately he looks down and away, and he lets out kind of a heavy sigh, and then he just says, unfortunately, there isn't a lot that I can tell you. Contracts beyond my power bind me from being too helpful. But trust me when I say that if you follow this course, all will become clear in time, and you might yet be able to do something for the city that you intended to visit.
After a fairly lengthy pause of reflection, introspection, she would just sort of frown and then gesture with one hand and say, very well, lead on.
Yeah, and he's like, excellent. I thought I had made the right choice. I
Is that
had
a- is
hoped
that-
I wasn't wrong.
Is that a Mr. Burns excellent? Fingers and
Not-
all.
No, like he kind of like
Excellent.
he takes the cane up in one hand and like gestures like theatrically with like cane in one hand and open hand the other way, and then he like turns and sweeps his hand towards the bushes that he just emerged from, and he says, after you, my dear.
Smithers! We have to go.
Smithers, write that man's name down.
Yes, sir. Oh, fuck it. I'll just get Homer
Okay.
Simpson.
God,
Get
fucking
in.
damn it.
Get in the spruce moose, Smithers.
I like
But
how
yeah,
there was like tension and stuff, and then suddenly Smithers. Get
but
that
yeah,
man's
he,
name.
he motions a course for you. Do you go in the direction that he indicates?
They're looking at both the bushes and the man, both of them, several times, shake her head, and she would go in that direction, while muttering to herself, this feels or sounds like a terrible idea.
Mr. Burns, we're late for a very important date.
All I can think now is fucking Burns fucking walking through the forest, like glowing in the radiation.
But yeah, so if you when you step into the bushes, there's you have a moment of peculiar gravity, like you're falling and being lifted. Hello. Yeah, like it's like you're falling and being lifted all at the same time, and like time seems to stretch and compress all at once. And we cut back to the rest of you all who are standing by that cart, looking through that opening in the wall into that like somewhat overgrown yard with its reflecting pool and that temple nearby. Uh, and the group of you hear a rustling in the bushes from nearby.
Nature check!
Do it.
Oh, shit. My nature is terrible. How is that? How is my nature terrible?
I don't know,
Do it.
sir.
Two no balls. Oh god, that is fucking holy shit.
Okay, well, it's
Surprise, it's a
clear-
visa.
it's clearly not a small animal or a deer or anything of the sort. In fact, it sounds like something roughly the size of a human is staggering through the bushes nearby.
All right. Well, we got a bow on it.
As I sit there with the bottle in my hand, staring through it, I notice somebody come out of the bushes and jump at my skin, going, "Back up, you spooky bitch!"
Yeah, it's like you turn and you make your nature check, you draw your bow and you point towards it, and then Avisa, you stagger out of the bushes someplace completely different than where you were literal seconds ago, and there's a group of people standing around an empty cart outside the walls of a small temple.
Would I recognize she's a druid?
That's up to her.
From her character art, she doesn't look very druidy. She looks more magic-y. Steampunk
Well, I
druid?
suppose what she's wearing is not necessarily what she'd be wearing. It's sort of like a general idea of what she'd look like.
It's
Okay.
an aspirational piece.
Hmm.
So yeah, like give us the description of your character so that everybody else knows what they're looking at.
I mean, long white hair, typical leather armor, a cloak for warmth, a backpack. The only thing that might really give her away as a druid would be the intricately carved staff.
In that case, the bow stays up.
Yeah, and
And
for your all's part, brief descriptions for Avisa's sake.
Elf, fat
I mean-
druid, weirdo, and priest.
I was gonna say, like, if you want, I'll go first. Yeah, you see a halfling that's about 2.5 foot tall, about 2 foot wide, and yeah,
Sta-
he's got some fucking like short to medium greasy black hair, and he looks like he's perpetually sweating.
and you're holding an empty whiskey bottle in your
Yeah,
hand,
and I'm
right?
basically just staring at her through this empty whiskey bottle with a tear in my eye, as if I've just lost all hope.
And then Cass, your half
Half
elf.
elf, half cunt.
Elf, half
okay,
cunt.
I'll be right back. I'm still listening though.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm just 5'3", generally skinny-ish, half elf, just blue eyes, brown hair, leather armor, looks a bit generic, like the kind of guy you'd see it, you know, at a bar all the time.
So you're the vault boy.
Yeah, let's go
Fuck.
with that.
You are the generic vault dweller.
Yeah.
Fucking uninspired Baldur's Gate character creation users. Ah,
Did you see that today?
I
Yeah.
did.
Oh my god.
And then
'Cause all
yeah,
the people
like
it's probably because all the people who bought it, like, they bought it because everyone else was buying it, and then they didn't realize what they were fucking buying, so they just went generic.
right. Well, I mean, they did change something, right? Because like when you boot it up to character creation, if you just took the default, it would be a female elf cleric.
Mm-hmm.
So they did change it to male human for some reason.
Okay, sorry about that.
So good.
And then yeah, I think Amaya and Hillary, your characters are probably the most standout, like interesting looking ones of the group, right?
Yeah. Go for it, hun.
So my character Lucina is a tiefling. She's around 5'5". She's got like the super dark gray, blackish skin, steely gray hair with red tips, and her horns are black with red tips to match her hair. Bright red eyes. She is in scale mail with oh shoot, my headset's gonna die. She has a crest of Kelimvor on her shoulder. And despite being a tiefling, she looks very welcoming, like motherly.
Okay.
Nice. And I think, Avisa, you would understand just in general of like Kelemvor is a fairly common religion in the realms, and he is like the sorter of the dead, right? Like he's a god that's not particularly good nor particularly evil. He just presides over where people go when they die.
Gryffindor.
And then yes, the one with the bow.
Looking at him being a druid, your first thought would probably be, "This is what a deer would look like if it walked on two legs." He's
What a
about
deer would look like if Zeus fucked a deer.
yeah. Look, this is what happens when a deer fucks a person, right? So no, he's about 5.5 foot tall, wearing leather armor, but it's covered in like leaves and stuff, and he has what appears to be horns, but you're not sure if they're coming from his helmet or growing out of his head. And he's got
And when
a
you
bow.
say horns, are they like antlers or?
Yeah,
are they
they're like antlers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he's got a bow on you.
Yeah, so this is the situation you find yourself in. These four strange-looking fellows who are just as surprised by your presence as you are by theirs. But you are, like, if you take the moment to look around, you will clearly realize that you have, like, moved a great distance from where you were previously, and you might in fact be in that small village that you could see smoking in the distance from that ridge where you met that peculiar man.
So, given the absolute gravity fuckery and the falling sensation, Cyane's stumbling from that bush is not going to be grateful so much as it's going to be absolutely comical because she damn near face plants. She's not looking all that threatening at this point. By the time she collects herself and gets a good look at the group of four and realizes that there's a bow on her, she's just going to straight face put both her hands up and say, "Please stay the arrow. I think I was sent here."
By who?
By a man in a suit with the most peculiar eyes.
Take a moment to pipe up and just be like, "Oh, hang on, I think I met that guy in the fields earlier today."
That's funny. I think I met that man in the tavern when I was having a drink.
You met him as well.
He visited me in the cemetery, actually.
I'll put the bow away, or put the arrow away. I'll slacken it, I should say.
Sure.
I'll take a moment to just think about this situation, think about where we are, and go, well, there's nothing we can do about him. Let's deal with the problem we have at hand.
So, everybody's had a visit from this man. This man who speaks of destiny and contracts.
Indeed.
Contract.
It would appear so. Had I met him before, maybe I would have made a song about him.
He did not mention to me anything about contracts.
I throw away my empty bottle and just go, who cares? Let's just fucking deal with the matter at hand. Come on.
It sounds like you're interested in prying further into this contracts thing, though.
I am.
Do you like do you relate to him like what the man said? Because like we could elide you having to necessarily try to remember everything that I said, and I could just kind of like we can narrate past that if you'd like, or you can role play it out either way.
It's
Either
fine.
way it works.
I gave you basically the reason I want to do this whole thing in the first place. So
Sure.
knowing about fiends and knowing about contracts, being fiendish normally,
Yeah.
it
So-
would be interesting to me.
I guess the question is if he continues to pry, does your character like answer as to what he had to say?
Me?
I was asking Avisa.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, like if Maya's character continues prying about the contract, I assume that you can just like relate to him that like the man said that he was bound by a contract and he couldn't say much, but that like
Yes.
yeah, like basically he couldn't tell her very much, but like he indicated that like if you follow the course, like you might be able to do something about what's going on and maybe save like the city that was apparently just destroyed.
Yeah, there would be no reason for her to withhold that information, as it obviously relates to all of them, and this is obviously being planned by someone, and she doesn't like being left in the dark at all.
Yeah. So that's kind of what you get out of this, Amaya.
Bad luck, I suppose.
Is it luck, though? I don't think luck has anything to do with this.
You'd be surprised how much luck has to do with things.
Hmm.
Agreed. Speaking of which, if you would but give me a moment. And I'm actually gonna, since we're going into this temple thing, I need to sit down for a second and start, putting sticks on top of sticks and like gathering like leaves and like making a little thing, and
Right.
and like kneel down in the grass and you know, my
As
lady.
a side note, real quick,
Yeah.
hun. When shit, Visa, what's your character's name? Siani?
Mm-hmm.
When Siani mentions contracts, Lucina's not going to say anything, but there's a visible look of worry on her face because she is a pact-born child of a warlock, so she knows a little bit about contracts and shit like that.
Okay.
Which would mirror the tone of concern in Cyanne's voice with, well, she doesn't have that kind of intimate familiarity. She's heard a lot of stories.
Right. I think
Yeah.
most people are familiar with devils and contracts and
Yeah.
the loss of one's soul.
Virt will remember that. But anyway, he's gonna weave a couple of sticks together, make a little like thing on the ground, and just kind of kneel down.
Your Blair Witch effigy, like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, he's doing some weird like religious mumbo jumbo in front
Yeah.
of all of you all, while you all are kind of standing here staring at this like dark and seemingly abandoned temple.
My lady, thank you for preserving us from bad luck so far. We are about to enter the Temple of Torm and hopefully meet some guests there. I pray you will accompany us and keep bad luck from our path. That's it.
Can
He
I
gets up.
just walk off into the darkness saying Leroy Jenkins?
Right. So while you're doing that, like the halfling just starts walking.
That's okay. It probably only takes about 30-45 seconds to do, so.
Sure. I just
Yeah.
think it is very funny to think of
Yeah.
the halfling though, just like wandering off. So yeah, you should be able to like freely like pick up and move your token around.
Yeah, so I start wandering off like that way.
Sure. And then obviously like the entrance is up here with these stairs.
Yeah.
I have a little chuckle seeing you wandering off. I'm like, can't leave him on his own.
So we are to just.
At
walk
this point, I
into
would
the
like to
door,
point
then.
out that every one of you fuckers have dark vision, and I'm just sitting kind of walking about blind in the darkness. So you're all just kind of looking at me going, what the fuck is he doing? And I'm just like kind of sauntering about going, da 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 da.
Yeah, so again to kind of like reframe the scene, like as you're walking into this open yard, like it's a little overgrown and like there's these bushes and trees and this kind of like reflecting pond. Like at some point this must have been fairly nice, but it looks like for several weeks, if not like months or more at this point, like people haven't been coming here regularly, so like
Been a
the
bit
grass
neglected.
yeah, like the grass has been neglected, like the trees are a little overgrown, and again like the city was just destroyed, so there's a like a haze of smoke in the air and like the drifting of like cinders every now and again going overhead, so it makes like what was already kind of a dark night a little bit harder to see in, but it's still lit enough out here that you can discern where there is path and where there is not.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say, can we roll a perception to see if there's anything in the pond?
Certainly.
One sec. I need to. Trying to do this with a cat in the way is quite hard.
Are we really just going to walk in the front door?
Sure, why not? Come on. Follow me. I have a plan.
Very well.
well, that was shit.
There's nothing
It gets
for
a
it.
little too dark for me to see in the water.
Yeah, like maybe there's fish or frogs or something down there, but like you can't tell. It looks like a smooth surface of black glass.
Okay. So, I turn around to everyone and ask. Well, I turn around to Amaya and I say, "Does he have any other ideas?"
What you looking for with your perception check?
Whatever he's looking at.
Sure, you look at him and he's like peering at the water intently and seeing nothing, and you look that way and you've got superior. You've got superior dark
Alright.
vision, right? Like,
Mhm.
so you can see like 120 feet in the dark with perfect clarity. And
Yeah.
it's like, yes, like beneath the still surface of the pond, there are like a handful of what appear to be purely decorative fish. Just like, I don't know, like they seem a little agitated, but they're swimming low in the water as to try to not attract attention because, like, they, like every other creature in the area, probably sensed the tremor and the destruction, and like that shit's not cool. But they're fish; they can't
Mhm.
go anywhere.
They're just fish.
Can't.
And I think with that check, by the way, I'll just, so that we don't have to make a whole bunch of rolls. Like your gaze also sweeps across the area out here.
Mhm.
There does not appear to be anyone or anything else out here in this like open temple complex.
Mhm.
Like you can see a little ways through like the partially open double doors of the temple. Like you can tell there are footprints. People have come through here. People came through here carrying things. Maybe even you see a couple of like a nails or like a horseshoe like laying on the path where stuff was dropped as it was carried inside. But you don't see any sign of the people who robbed the blacksmith.
Okay. Then in response to Cass's question, it appears that we are alone out here. Perhaps it would be better to draw them from within and set an ambush in this area.
Well, before we can do that, we need to know what we're dealing with, and we can't see anything from here. We don't know how many there are.
Ooh, actually, that's a great point. Marcus,
Don't worry, guys. I've got
yeah.
this.
Marcus, since I am a natural explorer, I know the exact number, their sizes, and how long ago they passed.
Okay. There were it appears to be that 4 individuals who were heavily laden came through here recently, headed into the building.
And do I know about how tall they were?
Probably like average human height.
Okay.
So ranging between like 5'4" and 6'2".
Get ready to be impressed. Well, there are 4 of them, approximately average height, anywhere from 5.5 to 6.5 feet tall, heavily laden with goods inside the temple.
I take a moment and chuckle
I
and
turn
go,
round, gobsmacked, and go, "How the fuck do you know that? Like, I'll bet you there's at least 5 people in there.
There are 4.
Like, put your money where your mouth is, dear boy."
I take a coin and put it in my mouth.
I'm not
I-
sure that's how that works.
I turn around and just go, "Fuck."
4 individuals.
I take a moment to just nudge you, just go, listen, the guy's got horns growing from somewhere. Clearly, I trust what he's saying.
I shrug and go, "Who cares? We'll soon find out." And I keep moving forward slowly.
Keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Can I just climb this tree? Can I just sit in this tree?
Yeah, I mean, if you want.
Yeah, let me grab my token. I'm just gonna get up in this tree.
And
Okay.
like
If-
keep
If
Keep-
the dwarf
Keep
or halfling?
arrow like trained on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then-
halfling.
If the halfling
And
goes
if you
in by
if you've
himself,
moved that way, then I'm just gonna move up to like about here and see if I can see anything from this distance. Like, is there any lights in there?
So yeah,
like, do
this.
that. Like, we move up.
Yeah,
to
we
there.
moved to the doors, and we're
Okay.
gonna peer in and see what we can see.
So what's
Let me
Paladin and Avisa gonna do?
like.
Well, Sunday will have been watching all these exchanges. She's not one to talk much to people she's just met and hasn't even introduced herself to.
Yeah.
But
didn't you just do that?
she's no, I don't think names were ever
There's been
exchanged.
no introductions yet.
So
She just sort of
eventually
turned
she's
up.
going to just shrug and follow, and like it is what it is.
So like this pink line that I just drew, like that's one of the doors, and then the other one is like partially open like that.
Yeah.
And you have dark vision, right, Cass? I'm
Yeah, I
pretty
have
sure.
dark vision.
I turn
So,
to
like-
the elf and go, "What do your elf I see?"
Oh, God damn it! Someone had to make that
I can
fucking
see up to
joke.
60.
Okay,
What do
I
your
just
half elf I see?
No,
pal?
that's what I was gonna say. From the tree you hear, from the tree you hear, half elf eyes.
I
More
tap
than
my head and
you,
go,
shorty.
"He's right, you know."
So it's dark inside. I'll tell you that much. And as I'm like very carefully clicking to, you get basically like that view through the open door.
Okay.
This right here is clearly like a closed door. You can tell that actually like some of this furniture is like broken, like somebody like intentionally like upended it and smashed it, and there's like a fine layer of dust and grime inside the building.
Can I roll perception to see if we can hear anything? Because we did hear chuckles earlier.
Certainly.
There it is. What is my rolls? Oh, fucking hell.
Ah, you got the Baldur's Gate 3 bug is like gotten into your quantum dice. No, like you strain to listen into the darkness, and it is still as the grave.
From the tree you just see me holding up 4 fingers.
Read between the lines, motherfucker.
The harsh reality is I wasn't able to actually listen in properly because there was a small muttering below my knees.
And that's me just saying, right, I'm listening. I've got a plan. I'm going to sneak in, have a look, and then if I see anything, I'm going to sneak out and tell you what I see. Okay? Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I nod in agreement and say, well, it's just another excuse for another story.
So do I roll stealth before I go in here, or do I just like sneak out?
Yeah, go ahead. You can roll a stealth check, and if it comes up, I will compare results to the. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Cool.
I guess I should probably
I
do
don't
that in
know
the
why
tree
it-
too.
Roll that, but
It's fine. Like first die. Here's the thing. If you leave it set to always roll advantage, like I will always take the first number. If you don't have advantage, I will take the best if you do, and I will take the worst if you don't. Right? Like.
fair enough. How do I stop it? Doing that though?
Let me look at
Cog.
your character sheet. I may have.
Go to the cog and where it says roll queries, you can hit always roll advantage or advantage toggle.
Obvious. Oh.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Cool. So you're good in
Right, so, like-
stealthy.
So then I sneak in, basically.
Okay. So yeah, just like you can move yourself like
Like,
yeah.
Say,
So
say
you,
I
you
move
put,
in there and then have a look so I can see like the rest of that room. Pretty
okay.
much,
So
my bad.
it's pretty dark in here. Because none of the
I like
sconces.
that we sent the non-dark seeing one in.
Right. Like none of the sconces are lit.
It's fine. I've got a plan.
So what I'm gonna do is like probably let's say like 30 or 40 feet. Yeah, about like that. So you kind of have this sort of like view of like this is kind of like what you can clearly see with the light that's coming in
Yeah, yeah.
from through the doorway.
Okay. And can
And
I see
again,
anyone? Like,
no,
is
you
there anyone
you
there?
don't see anyone around in the clear part of the building. Again, you see like there's a doorway right here on this wall. I think you maybe dimly are aware that there's possibly another door
Like, over that way. Yeah, yeah.
up this way and then one up this way as well, and then like in the faint shadows you see that somewhere up in this direction there's like the main altar, but like the details are kind of hard to pick out in the darkness.
Right. I stick my head out the door and go, "Hi, bud. Get your elf eyes in here. See if you can see any better. Come on. We're going on an adventure. Yay."
God.
Can I just whisper to the cleric who's next to me? I think they're going to need some healing soon.
You are probably right.
I take a moment to see Boasting Ball going in with his shitty little legs, and I'm just like, you can't see in here.
How
This
can
is
a
a
man so
terrible,
rotund be so
terrible
stealthy?
idea.
It's fine. I've got a plan.
As there's clearly no one in here, or you'd be dead by now. Maybe we should gather everyone else and go in together.
Should gather the party before venturing forth.
Fuck you.
I mean, I guess you can go and do that then. I'll just wait here.
Right, okay.
It's kind of an eerie environment for you. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's not. How do you feel about it, there, Shags? You're standing.
I mean, I'm sitting in the dark. I'm like
You're
kind of
sitting
looking
in a-
about. I can kind of like just make out odd fucking shapes in the distance,
pillars
and I'm
and
just
some
like,
broken furniture
yeah.
and
I
like
mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of like looking about, going, "This is a bit spooky, but it's not terrifying or anything." It's
Okay, so
It's
I turn
dark.
around and gesture to Viert and Lucina that it's semi-safe, and I turn to our new person who we haven't been introduced to yet, and just give her a smile and just 2 thumbs up because I don't know how to agree her. It's like, it's all good. It's all good.
2 thumbs up. Hey,
Hey.
fucking wonderful. So, what's the plan? You gonna try to get everybody else to come inside?
Well, that's the plan, yeah.
She's going to raise an eyebrow at the 2 thumbs up and then nod. And then, as she intends to be as quiet as possible, I should probably roll stealth as well.
Yeah, by all means. Yep.
And I'll start heading towards the doorway.
Yeah, so you step in and you do have like full dark vision, as I recall. And yeah, you've got like 60 feet, so I'm basically just gonna go ahead and do like the whole. Oh, come on. The fucking reveal tool is not being my friend right now.
Hunter, are you moving up?
Stealth too.
Okay.
Ooh.
No.
Oh.
stumbles
Oh, dear.
through a bush.
Can I assist her?
Yeah, I mean, like you can try to give her pointers to provide advantage, I suppose. like hold on. I want to know what the characterization is, because here's what I'm actually going to do. What your assistance is. She starts to move forward and she rolls that 2, and it becomes very clear, I think, that stealth is not her strong point. How do you help her so that she can re-roll?
Can I pick her up and carry her over
Oh my
the
god.
bushes that she so listen, the way I see it, you tried to jump over the bushes or go through the bushes and like we're about to fall flat on your face. Can I just like pick you up and like carry you over the bushes and set you back down?
hate that, but it's up to the DM ultimately.
No, it's up to you guys. Like, I am here to facilitate whatever scene you want to have happen. So you settle that between you two.
Carry me like the fucking princess I am.
Seeing this poor tiefling cleric trying to crawl over the bushes and about to face plant, I just want to like hop down from the tree, like walk over, just like pick her up.
Honey, my God, come on.
No. You pick her up, you carry
Yep.
her a little bit, you
Yep.
set her back down, and you're like, no, like this, and then show her the proper way to like move.
Yes, and then I will jump back and forth over the bushes like 2 or 3 times to show her how to step.
Just
Right.
Over the
like
bushes.
weird flex, but okay. Like that.
And apparently it seems to work because her reroll is much better than that first one.
Can I turn around to Avisa and just go, what's taking them so long?
She'll shrug and just sort of in the kind of way.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Boosing Bo, by the way.
Sayani, a pleasure.
You're going the
Down
exact
hand,
wrong
you
way,
can meet
Hunter.
her.
Okay, my D20 is freaking the fuck out. I am trying so hard. What the fuck? Come on.
Mine's
She
just
got the
fucking out
stealth
early.
down, but she
Just
didn't get the
fuck this one
direction
out.
wrong. She didn't get the direction right. Ah, there we
Thank
go.
you, whoever moved me. I don't know what
I-
is going on.
I got you.
Thank you.
Speaking of which, Marcus, when you ever get time, can you give me control of her character also? Because there will be times when I'll need to roll for her.
Sure.
While everyone's getting their shit together, what would I roll to see if I can hear anything?
Perception is the skill that you are looking for. Okay, you should be able to see and edit and control her character now.
Sweet.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, so yeah, you peer into the darkness with your dark vision, and you know, maybe put a hand to your ear to listen. You hear like the sound of like, you know, like in movies when they use that stock sound effect of like dust settling or whatever, and like the small like tinkling of stones, like it's that
Yeah.
kind of like empty, like abandoned place. Like you don't hear the sound of voices or like the sound of movement. Everything feels like still in the way of like a tomb. Like I said, a lot of the furniture that's out here in this main room has been like intentionally damaged. The altar appears to have been like somewhat desecrated recently, and this kind of like yellow line that I drew on the back wall here is actually, it is a set of what appears to be like large golden double doors, like very dull in the darkness. And at this distance, it's kind of hard to tell what it depicts, but it's like clearly each of the doors is like half of an image that's like embossed into the surface of the doors.
Okay. We
Okay.
know. I'm gonna just. I'm gonna have to roll stealth as well, I guess. Fuck.
Not one.
What about any signs of recent disturbance, such as footprints in
yeah.
the dust and debris?
I fucking
Um,
called it. I fucking called it. That's hilarious.
Fucking called it. Yeah, no, with
Jesus
a
Christ.
with
Cass stumbles through, smashes
You're-
the 2 doors wide open, like, hi
Oh my
boys,
God.
it's me, the
No.
bomb.
yeah, you're looking around carefully, and I think yes, with a 13, and given the situation, I think maybe you do see like a few nails here and there that were like again dropped from the crates as they were carried in. You see like a few footprints and like drag marks in the dust. They lead, like the most recent ones specifically lead to this door, and somewhere over in this corner.
If I remember right, there's a door here as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's the door. I'm gonna just give up on doing stealth. I'm gonna be quite loud, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
God.
you're trying to carefully like listen or whatever and like observe, and everybody's being quiet, and then suddenly, what's it like, Cass? How does Ray ruin the whole operation?
Because he stands on all the broken, cluttered shit on the ground. Everyone's being careful, and he's just like, huh, I know there's a door there, but we should probably see if the people we're looking for are in that direction.
Yeah. So you walk over to this door here. Do you have the intention to open the door?
I have the intention to. Yes.
Face plant into the door.
Yeah, I will open the door.
To gracefully walk
Okay.
up and go head first through the door in
So then-
a most gentlemanly manner.
I think we can characterize like your poor stealth roll then as like what happens is you get over here to like open this door that's set in the wall, and like it is somewhat like stuck, and you kind of have to fight with it a little bit, like, but it's stuck in that way that like it feels like maybe something has fallen against the door on the inside, not that like it's locked. And so like you kind of like push and then like turn the handle again and like push a little harder, and like it makes a rattling sound that just echoes in the space, and then finally like you push the door open with a thud.
Can I face palm?
The china
Yeah.
cabinet on the other side shatters.
Right, and so inside you have this kind of like, you know, small like monastic cell or whatever with like a bed and a desk and like a trunk that you would keep stuff in. Not pictured here on this particular like map that I have. However, I wrote some descriptive text for this. This small adjoining room was, and technically still is, occupied by one of the priests who served as the steward for this small temple. Entering the room reveals the same sort of smashed furniture that occupies the rest of the building, but the most important feature is a corpse of the priest of Torm. The elderly man was forced to his knees with his arms chained together behind his back, and, where visible, his skin is covered in lesions and deep purple bruises. A symbol of a tower appears to have been burned into his bald pate with an iron brand.
I'm assuming that everyone else has like made their way inside at this point.
Yeah, like position yourselves
Consider-
where you
Considering
position
the
yourselves where
bard
you
just
want to
kinda
be.
went harder and started fucking kicking down
I'm
doors and shit.
gonna make a small. Oh, there goes Hillary again.
I
Hillary does
seriously
that
don't
last
So
thing,
know
I had that
what's
problem.
going
I just
on.
I
I got you,
right clicked
hon.
roll 20 and I left clicked and it was fine.
Can you put me up by Cass's token?
I was
On
gonna.
the
I
other
was
side of the door?
literally about to just say I beckon sister. I think we have someone here who might want to see you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put you in the room then, so you can look at the priest.
Thank you. Can I do an investigation on him and see if I recognize the symbol burned into his head?
Sure.
Or would that be a
I was gonna say investigation
religion
or
check
religion.
or
Yeah, okay. If you wanna find out more about the symbol specifically, I think that would be religion. If you want to find out more about the body, investigation or medicine would be usable.
religion and a medicine?
Yeah, like medicine will tell you about the state of the body, investigation will tell you about the state of the room, and religion will tell you about the symbol on his head. You're not entirely sure about the symbol. You think it has religious significance, and it seems bad given the rest of what you're looking at. As for the quality of the body, it appears that his bones were broken before he died. Probably having been beaten with some sort of heavy, blunt instrument, and it's only rigor mortis that's keeping his body in its current pose, which means that he's been dead for quite a bit longer than, like, you've been wandering around since the destruction of the city.
Going to do last rites for the body and to say a quick prayer to Kelemvort to guide his soul, and then also a prayer to what's the name of the god of this temple?
Torm.
Torm.
Torm. I will also say a prayer to Torm, in respect of his dead priest.
Sure.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm not gonna make you make any checks for that. I think you, as a priest, you would understand like all of the necessary like rigmarole to say an effective prayer. So we get that scene, probably like the camera focuses on you as you like, you know, tend to the body and then like say the respectful prayers. Are you going to leave him here like this and come back and deal with him later, or like are you like trying to like lay him out in some way so that he's not kind of stuck in this like rather grisly like kneeling pose?
I wait until she is finished with her rites, and I mentioned, sister, it's probably best we deal with the problem at hand and come back to this later. We don't know when they're going to turn up.
Come back for the body later to do a proper burial. It was more of a, respect, guide his soul into the appropriate afterlife kind of thing. But I am going to tell the party, based on my investigation checks, that we are dealing with something truly evil and malicious, and we need to extinguish it.
The whole party's over there at that door.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about these. Whoops! What the fuck? I'm more worried about these doors here. Oh God, my token! God damn it!
Did you just delete your
And
token?
no way he goes.
Yeah, I'm more worried about these doors here. Can I basically
I'll go get
open
your
these
token.
doors? I got it.
Okay.
Can I open these doors fully?
Sure. You're just gonna. Oh, the double doors here. Yeah, sure.
These doors open inward, which is going to be a bad news if we need to retreat. So I want to make sure that our retreat is covered.
You want them open like fully.
That's smart.
I want them like fully open
Yeah.
and blocked if I can.
I
Yeah, I
look at
think
what
you-
you're doing, and then I kind of nod and go,
You
"That's
can
that's smart, I
probably
didn't think of
find
that."
like some rubble or whatever that you can stick under the door jambs to keep them open.
Okay.
I turn to our new companion, and obviously she's. You can tell she's some sort of druid just from the staff. And I'm like, fuck. Is there anything if we need to words. Andrea, give me a sec. Need to use that brain. If
Well,
we
Cat-
need to escape, he's doing the right thing. We don't know what's down there. Is there anything you can do to help?
Sorry, say again.
Is there anything you can do to help our companion over there, making it easy for us to get out of here if something goes wrong?
That's a good question. Is there anything a druid could do to help with that?
Well, I think it probably like occurs to you that he's got the right idea. Like I'm not sure what more could be done in this case to like help with the escape plan, though like you do have access to like spells that might be useful if it came to it. If running away came to it, you might be able to cover him in the moment, but like pre-preparation, like I think he's doing like the most.
That's what I thought.
Okay, that's
Actually, I mean, if you
But
want to-
I'm
I'll
just
answer
retarded.
with a moment of contemplation and say, I think he's got the doors covered for now, but if something goes awry, there's a few tricks I might have up my sleeve.
But yeah, so that's what you found in that
No.
room, and you did actually see like more tracks in the dust, and you've seen like
Yeah.
some evidence of the things that were carried through here and dropped on the way. So do you indicate to the others what you've noticed, or
After staring for a moment at the poor tortured man, At this point, I think that thanks to the bull in the china shop over there, there's no real point in trying to be quiet. So she's going to be speaking at more of her normal speaking tone.
Sure.
And say, there's evidence of people passing through here fairly recently. You can see the drag marks going to the other doors up ahead. If they're here, they're either further in or I don't know, but we should probably proceed with caution.
Can I ask, how do you pronounce your character's name again, Amaya? Is it
Vilt.
Vilt or
Vert.
Vilt? Can I ask Vilt if it's better to like head in there, or if we should try to lure them out?
Well, best case scenario, we're up against 4 people.
I still say 5.
In enclosed spaces, they would be at a disadvantage, and we could create a funnel through which we could more efficiently take them out. So realistically, as long as we open the door first, we are at the advantage.
I know I didn't say that sounds like a good plan, and turn to everyone else and say what you guys think.
Sano will just nod.
I'll nod as well.
I volunteer to open the doors if somebody wants to make some noise to kind of lure anyone inside out.
Actually, before they do any of that, inside this church, I'm guessing there are like columns and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Anything I can climb up on?
These here are like pillars that like are holding up the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I kind of imagine it like any sort of general like structure of this sort where the roof is like maybe 10 to 15 feet above the floor, and then it's either like flat or like maybe like down this middle aisle that heads up to the central temple, like it's got a bit of an arch to it, but there's not really much above you, especially since the back part of the temple, like back where the altar is partially buried in a hill.
So no place I could perch up on?
Not really.
Okay.
Just honestly, standing at the front door seems like the best bet for you.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do.
Okay. I'm gonna move up to.
And right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up to the door and try and pry in and see what's happening.
Which one?
I'm trying. Oh God, roll 20. Why you do this? There we go.
Okay, so you can
I
just
got you.
It's easy enough to just pick up your mouse and like throw yourself around too. So you've come up here to the altar. Again, did we?
My thing bugged out. It's fine.
Oh, you're refreshing. I got you. Yeah, like the altar, as I said, has been like desecrated to an extent, like candelabra have been like knocked over, like the lectern has clearly been knocked over, like incense burners and like the kinds of like necessary trappings and ephemera of religion have been like destroyed or stoved in, and like it's difficult to say whether it's paint or blood has kind of been splashed on things. Now, these two like gold-plated like doors at the back, they have been like tarnished by this dark-colored like fluid, just like the altar has as well. But now that you're closer in the darkness with your dark vision, you can tell that the doors like together depict like an image of like a bucolic rolling field at the foot of Mount Celestia, which is one of like the many heavens of the D&D multiverse, which would be the place where like followers of Torm are meant to receive like their final rest when they die. The significance of the doors, I don't know, like if you wanted to like make a religion check, maybe you could figure out if there's something special about them.
Just remember, there's still actually.
Probably leave that to the cleric.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if I could assist, or I can roll it too. Either way.
Yeah, or you could roll and like the bard could try to be your assist as you kind of like muddle through it, which would give you advantage.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
Okay, so yeah, with a 15, I think you understand after you kind of look at them for a moment. These doors are ornamental, right? Like they function, they have hinges, they're meant to be opened, but what you actually would understand to be on the other side of that door is essentially like a kiln or a crematorium. Like Torm, when he is done with his servants, like their body is consumed in like holy fire and they're released to their final rest. um and so like the doors would be open and the body would be placed in on the slab, and then the doors would be closed and then prayers would be said. And like that's probably why this temple was built into this hill like this. Like the earthworks around it provides like a natural heat barrier to make that chamber hot enough to burn a body.
Well, I know what I'm doing with the priest body after this.
And since you're standing so close to it, Cass, can I get you to make me a perception check?
Oh boy, here I go percepting again.
Not one, not one,
It's gonna
not
be
one.
a not one. I'm fucking calling it.
one.
Yoink.
Oh boy.
Okay, so you're looking at this, like, you're helping her like kind of suss out what's going on here, and as you're looking at it, like something catches your attention, and that is that there is like some kind of like dark colored cord or similar that has been like affixed to the doors in such a way that like if the doors are opened, like the cord would snap tension. And as you kind of like follow it and you look up, you realize that like the ceiling above these double doors has actually been like intentionally damaged. And this may actually be the source of the sound of like falling dust and stones that Avisa heard earlier. And it looks like if these doors were opened without doing something to shore up the ceiling, like several bits of rock and earth would immediately fall on whoever was standing in front of the doors.
Oh. Well, that's a trap and a half. There's other rooms in here, guys. Let's leave this one for now.
Did you say there was a door over to the left here as well?
There's a door. There's still one door on
Yeah.
the right and one door on the left.
There's a door on
See
the
each other.
Yeah, there's a door on the left wall, there's another door on the right wall, and Avisa also did see tracks that seem to just be leading into the north rightmost corner of the room.
Which is where she's going to go now to check on.
Before she leaves, can I talk to her real quick?
Oh.
I was just gonna say, I don't think we've been properly introduced. My name is, but you may call me Virt.
Every fucking time, man. Holy shit.
She would tilt her head at the pronunciation of that name.
You might understand it being a druid.
Yeah, it's
Would
some
I-
kind of like nature-y, like elemental language or something.
Anyway, I know those two can be rather hasty in their actions. What we are trying to do here is recover some stolen items from the blacksmith so that we might help him and the townsfolk to safety.
She would nod at that and say that makes sense. And she would then smile and say, "My name is Cyane. It's a pleasure to meet you, Vert."
The pleasure is mine. You seem more capable and less reckless than some of our other companions. I look forward to working with you.
while this is going
Thank
on in
you.
the background, can I turn around to fucking Ray and be like, Ray, there's a door over there. Let's go check it
Oh
out.
my fucking god! Right, exactly.
Should also say, give them a chance. They may turn out to be searching for the word here. More than
Just
you'd
go
expect.
So your horrifically bad lack of dark vision, you managed to go all the way over there without tripping up.
No, right, fair enough, right?
And
What would I roll to like see if I made it over there without tripping up?
And I'm sorry, V's. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You can keep doing what you were doing.
It's okay. She
Uh,
will nod in the direction that she was going to go in and say, I thought I saw something over there. I'm going to check it out.
Okay, let's deal with the Visa thing first.
okay. So go ahead and move to where you would like to be. Okay, so you're heading up into that corner.
Yes.
In this let's see here, make sure I'm on the right layer. In this general area here, there is a half moon shaped stone font that is set into the wall. The edges and it forms like basically like a bowl. Like water is intended to like come out of the wall and it would like pool. And I think people who are familiar with like, you know, temples and religion and stuff would understand this to be like a holy water font. But as you look at it, like the edges here have clearly been stained with what looks like dried blood. There is a phrase in common that is like carved into the edge of the font that says like offer prayers and pass freely. And several of the tracks and like specifically like some of the drag marks lead directly to this corner and then just seemingly disappear.
So, given that that may not be quite her forte, Tane would motion to the cleric for her attention and ask her what she would make of this.
Shit's fucked, yo.
Rolling anything, my interpretation of that would be it appears that we must say a prayer to Torm in order to pass through some kind of doorway here.
Yes, I'm just not much liking the blood there.
That is a bit concerning.
It could be in line with the desecration that you've seen in the rest of the temple, admittedly. Like, this basin probably would have at one point contained holy water or some had served some similar like ritual cleansing purpose, right?
Yeah, just the whole thing's a bit strange. I mean, bloody basin, footprints vanishing into nothing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like and you know, like there may be like you could try to make a religion check, Hillary, to determine if you know like the proper rites for this, or you could maybe try and go back to the priest's chamber and see if there's like prayer books or something that might have like the proper rituals contained in them, or like you could just try to examine the basin more closely to figure out what's going on.
I'm inclined to go to the priest's room and look for a prayer book.
Okay, cool.
You want me to move you over there?
If you could.
Boop.
Investigation check.
Yes, please.
Investigation is shit, but let's try it.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to characterize this as a failure so much as I'm going to characterize this as a matter of the amount of time that it takes for you to root through this rather like tossed room and find the thing that you are looking for specifically. So in the meantime, while you are digging for the proper like rites and protocols, what are the rest of you all doing?
Bart, come on, there's a door over there. Let's go check it out.
I'm going to go quietly try this door that I'm standing near to and see if it's locked.
Okay.
Cool. So
I just have an arrow ready pointing in the direction of the two idiots because they're the ones more likely to need it.
Listen, hey,
Sure.
hey, there's one idiot, and there's this fucking
I'm
tard
sorry.
wrangler that has to look
I'm
after
sorry.
him, okay?
I'm sorry, in the direction of Dumb and Dumberer.
Okay. So I will take up.
He called you dumberer.
Oh my god. So I'm gonna take up with the halfling and the bard first. Place yourselves where you wish to be.
He asked me a good point though. Like, because I don't see very well, would I have to make any checks to see if I like fell over?
That
on the way
depends
there?
on whether or not he's willing to lead you through the room or not.
I mean, it's him. He's not.
Okay.
He's sitting back just like
Actually-
fucking laughing.
Actually, can I help out with that?
You wanna guide him through? You can.
No, I just want to give him one of my arrows that I lit the back end on fire. Make a
Oh, just shoot it into the door as like an impromptu
in fact,
torch
shit,
or
that's
something.
Right. I've actually got
Yeah.
a torch.
Yeah, you can do that. Like that would shed enough
I mean,
light that he can
like,
figure out where
since
he's
we've
going.
since we've fucking given up on like stealth, I could actually
Yeah.
just light my torch.
Okay,
Like,
So
fuck
yeah,
it.
you pull out your torch and light it up. So now you can see where you're going.
Yeah. Right, fuck it then. Let's walk over here.
Yeah, so you walk over there to that door.
I
The
turn round
door.
and look at the bard and go, "Oh, Dick, over here."
Calf.
Right, so you're doing that door, and Abyss is doing that door. Which door do we want to do first?
I was gonna go with you guys.
I mean, I was just like having a look over, see what's in.
Like I'm just gonna bounce from one room to another, but I figured I'd start with you guys and kind of just go around in a circle. So, where are you going, Cass?
Well, I'll probably. Let me have a look.
Because it sounds like the halfling is trying to get you to come with him.
He loves you so much.
Just looking for an opportunity to kill him. Nah, wait, I take it back.
Halfling
So-
looking kind of sus.
So I'm gonna roll a really bad stealth check. Real
Okay.
Because I want to try and sneak up behind Boatsingbaugh. Why?
Okay, so
God damn it. I
what is
cannot
your-
wait to pass
what
without a
is your
trace.
passive perception,
My
Shanks?
My passive perception.
Yeah, it'll be down kind of below your stats.
2.
It should be higher than that.
No, it's underneath your skills. It says passive wisdom, quote, perception.
Oh,
Let me look. Where's my mouse pointer? It's 12. Okay, yeah. So, like, just passively, you are better at picking out the fact that he is sneaking up behind you than he is at trying to sneak up behind you. Do you let him think he's being stealthy, or, like, how do you respond to this situation?
I mean, I turn round and hold my torch up. What the fuck are you doing?
Take a moment to go. Don't worry about it. Carry on.
Right,
Perfect.
so, do you... I assume you open the door, then.
Yeah.
Okay, so... let me
Open
get
the door. What do your elf eyes see?
My
Right.
reveal tool here. So in this room is what appears to be like combination like kitchen and storeroom. It appears that like food supplies and cooking implements and various and sundry like dried herbs and bottles and like those kinds of things are kept in this room.
Of course, the fat halfling found the kitchen.
I instantly get to work searching for drink.
Roll me a perception check, please. Yeah, okay, so you wander into the kitchen and start looking around, and it's like you see like there's like just different kinds of like food items that would be like appropriate to, well, okay, first of all, there's food here that would have been appropriate to a person of simple means like a priest. That stuff seems to have not really been touched, and in some cases is starting to mold. And then there are other bits of like food and like uh other things that have been brought in since that are more like shit you would get to like stock a tavern or like a person's home. And that is the stuff that has been being prepared and being cooked with lately. And I think you find like half a bottle of like some nice like locally produced like wheat beer, and then you find like an old jug of communion wine.
Sweet. So
The
Mm,
and the
gonna
sacrilege.
say-
desperation begins.
yeah, so I'm gonna say like I'd gather up the food that still seems like good,
Yeah.
so we could like take it with us and whatnot for the journey ahead. I drink the beer and then like stash the wine inside the supplies without telling anyone
Fair
Should I
for,
enough.
say
for later
sacrilegious?
consumption.
Sacrilegious. So yeah, back across on the other side. You open this door, and this room appears to be another bedroom. This one is distinctly less tossed than the other one. Its occupant is not laid out murdered like the other rooms was, but there is more stuff here than is depicted on the map. Like there is a bed, but there's also like additional bed rolls and like some backpacks, and it looks like the kind of like traveling supplies like cloaks and stuff for probably 5 or 6 people. And it looks like the way everything's laid out, like this is probably a place where if people are sleeping, like sleeping is done in shifts.
Okay. So, not one much for stealing, but I guess Annie will rifle through the stuff to see if she can discern anything important about the people who possess it.
Sure. Give me an investigation check, let's say.
Here we go.
Um,
Level 1. Level 1.
yeah, I mean you can't determine much from what you have here, right? Like you have bedrolls, you have blankets, you have like kind of rough made pillowcases that are stuffed with straw that the people who would be here using this room would use to sleep with, like kind of old rough cloaks that have a green and black coloration to them. The backpacks look like they haven't been taken out of the room for a while. Like whenever these people got here and settled in, they've been here for a bit. But that's about all you can really discern without like really digging in and going through everything like part by part.
Mm.
Um,
Which she's not going to do because she's not comfortable with going through people's belongings.
sure. All right, so we'll skip over back to Hillary, and in the meantime, while everybody else has been kind of like going through the other rooms, like you finally turn up, like I think under the edge of like the damaged like priest's bed, you find two things. You find what appears to be where his holy symbol got when it was discarded, by the people who wrecked this place. It's skittered under the edge of the bed, and it is what you would expect. It is like a symbol of like a right hand held upwards with the palm facing out. And you also find the book of like prayers and litanies and procedures, like stuffed kind of back into a corner and has been gathering dust and maybe has like a few cobwebs stuck to it since it wound up in that space.
Okay. Would I find the correct procedure for the
Yeah.
prayer for that fountain in there?
So you flip through it, and like it's funny because it's one of those things that like I think is true of like a lot of religious ritual where it is like equal parts like actual religious observance and also like showy disguise for what is actually going on, where it's like you would go and you would say a prayer and then you would do like a specific thing and you would touch a specific part of the fountain, and that would actually cause that part of the wall to open up so that you could actually access um like the reservoir behind the wall that like you would add more holy water to fill the font, but also likely based off of what you're reading here accesses a stairwell that leads down to like chambers underneath the temple.
Okay. I will let the rest of the party know that I think I have found the correct procedure to open up the fountain thingy majiggy.
Is that the technical term?
Yes.
Bloop.
So yeah, with that being the case,
I would start heading over that way then, I guess. After like, I'd say I'd leave the stuff that I'd gathered there for like later collection.
there's
I
your
guess-
your secret door.
I will leave that room and group up and let people know that I found the belongings of multiple different people, and it looks like they've been staying there for a while.
4 of them.
At least 4.
5. One gold mark says it's 5.
And I will move up so that I can be in line of sight of everybody.
Sure. So
Right. And everyone, I'll just carry on as well.
I guess I would move to be like the closer to the front.
right, so I assume then that you're going to go ahead and perform the little prayer and touch the right spots on the fountain and like open the door for everyone else.
Yep, once everybody is in position and ready, I will do the little ceremony thingy majiggy.
Okay, so yeah, she recites a prayer about, you know, like the rightness and goodness of justice, and like it's literally like if All Might was a religion, I feel like. And then she like, you know, touches
Like
a couple
Ultra, and then kicks the door open.
yeah, touches a couple of spots on the fountain and then just like
My hero sacrilegia.
just drop kicks the fountain. Now, but you know, like once you like touch the right like bits on the engraving on the fountain that says, you know, like offer prayers and proceed or whatever, like there's like a click and then like a grinding, and then like the secret door swings forward towards you and it opens up, and I had to like modify the map to make it fit my needs, so that will explain the shitty like MS Paint editions of this
Nice.
stairwell that descends down and then doubles back and descends down further.
Top tier fucking drawings.
I dig it.
And when you open the door, it's as though like, and I think it's because it was like thick stone or whatever, right? Like you can hear like it's a narrow, okay, so it's a narrow flight of stairs. It's like dark, but you can see like kind of like eerie like light dancing like on the landing here that's clearly coming from further down below, and you can hear the sound of low, like dolorous chanting, like distantly drifting up from the depths.
I mean,
That
I
sounds
start walking down the
nice.
stairs.
All I can
That's
think
a
about
thing.
is the fucking bunch of people in Hot Fuzz, Dominatus.
The greater
God.
good.
The greater good.
Yeah, so I'd say like I just start making my way down the stairs, like
Making my way.
making my way downstairs.
Are you
walking
going to
fast.
are you going to try to be subtle about this, or
As subtle as one can be with a torch in his hand?
that's fair. That's
Maybe
fair.
you should put
What?
the torch out if we're going to sneak, and maybe the one who can't see
Why?
in the dark should be at the back of the group.
It's too late. I'm like
Please.
halfway down the stairs at this point.
Well.
Okay, so yeah,
I'm not-
you're barreling in
Oh my
like
God.
heedless.
Oh God. You're gonna give me a heart attack, not to mention Bert.
Okay, so you get to that point, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this, because you know what? We honor the fiction here, and the fiction is that the halfling just rolled down the stairs, and you all let him do it.
But did he keep a hold of his beer? Did he spill his beer?
Oh, that's long
So-
gone, man. Fuck.
You wind up here.
Okay.
And
okay.
you come out with the torch in your hand, and you see this well lit room with all of these strange like infernal runes and like ritual symbols like drawn on the floor and on the walls, and there is this collection of individuals who are standing loosely around an altar that has been like built up in the middle of the room, and like they're all chanting, and like it's one of those things where it's like you can distinctly tell the people are chanting, but there are additional voices over and above and beyond the number of people that you can see in the room that continue to make like noise, even as the two people closest to the stairs like turn and notice you coming. And the guy who's standing at the altar here like also kind of like turns and looks, and he's like, an interloper, stop him. And then he turns back to the person who's laying on the altar and begins raising his knife as though he is preparing to plunge the blade into the person who is laid out on the altar. And I think the rest of you that are standing up near the door hear the sound of someone yelling, and this is where initiative begins.
Oh Jesus.
Oh boy, here I go rolling initiative again.
So what? Do I roll initiative as well?
I need to clear this.
Yeah, everyone rolls
okay.
initiative. Where's the button for it again?
So what you do is you select your token, so that make sure that the bubbles are popped out, and then you click the word initiative on your character sheet.
Yeah, right in between your armor class and your speed.
You did it.
Wait, what? So I click my token, everything pops out.
Yeah, and then on your character sheet there is the word initiative. Like it's up by the top between armor class and speed.
It's above your hit points, Cass.
Okay, I see it.
And then you just
it
click on the word
fucking-
initiative.
Am I
Ah,
on
okay.
Nat 20s? What the
I was
fuck?
clicking the number. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
You did it.
And then... Let me get...
I will be back in a hot second. I have to make the dogs dinner real quick.
It's all good.
It's all good. 22.15 is what you should be. Why are you being like this? Let me make sure I have everybody's.
You just have to double click on the number and it'll let you change it.
Yeah. And then I'll get everybody else's initiatives down here in the basement. Oh my god, my fucking Chrome is going really slow here. Sorry.
It's all good.
I have a lot
It's
of
all good, man.
I have a lot of stuff in my sidebar because I have a whole ass module like loaded in. So it takes a little bit for it to keep up with what I'm doing. And then sort descending. Cool. So it would appear at the top of the initiative is Volt. You hear them yelling. You hear yelling coming up from the bottom of the stairs where the halfling disappeared down through the door.
Oh Jesus. He's gonna get himself killed. All right, can I go down the stairs? How much
Guys,
movement would
come
it take me
down.
to get down
Something
the
fuck
stairs?
is happening.
Let's see here. From here, where you are, like 30 feet is gonna get you to the landing, looking down the stairs.
Okay, and I can't see any of these dudes down the stairs
I think you might be able to draw a line of sight
from
to
Bo.
this guy from there, but you'll be shooting like basically through or like over Bo, so like it'll give.
I mean, I'm pretty short. Shouldn't be much hassle.
Yeah, but like you have to assume he's at the top of the stairs and kind of like looking down. So actually, you know
Yeah.
what? He is pretty short. You'd probably be able to shoot over him fine. So
Okay, let's take a shot
sure, why not?
with sharpshooter. Why not?
Yeah, I'll put you where you at. What was that? Let me get to the right screen here. Yeah, that will definitely hit that gentleman that's standing right there.
Sweet.
All right.
9
Oof.
points. Oh no, I'm sorry, 19 points of
Oh.
damage.
19 points
19.
of damage.
Holy
Yes.
shit.
Sharpshooter.
Oh, you're taking the sharpshooter shot.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, then he is fucking absolutely dead
Sweet.
in but a single like shot to the chest. And then Avisa, you see as one of your party members, like you hear shouting from below, and then another one of your party members charges through that doorway into the darkness.
And I just look at Bo and I go, 1.
And with a single oh fuck, she's going to go run and follow.
And I gleefully point out there is 5 guys in this room.
Technically, there are 6.
We don't count the sacrifice though.
So
okay.
don't know how far I can go with this.
Okay, so you have 30 feet of movement as a person of your like height and species, and like so you see on the side there's there is a ruler tool that's like it looks kind of like a circle with a little like comb thing sticking part way out of it. You can use that to like measure lines like this.
Okay.
And then, like, again, you're kind of in the same position where, like, with a single move, you could get to basically the same place where Amaya is. You could then, like, use your action to move further and actually, like, move into the basement if you wanted, but you might put yourself in the line of fire if you chose to do that.
Well, I'm not going to go barging in without knowing what I'm getting into,
I know
Sure.
who would do that. Fuck.
but I will at least go down the stairs
Okay.
to join Vert.
All right. So yeah, you get to there, and then you can kind of like peer around like the landing or whatever. You can see that like there's a well lit, like kind of naturally carved room down there, and there's a bunch of like crazy looking like stuff that's been like painted like all over the floor. And there's a body that has an arrow sticking out of it. But beyond that, you can't see much else of what's going on. So, meanwhile,
Oh, this is like all my nightmares come true. Nice shot, by the way, Bert.
Thank you.
So yeah, Mr. Baugh, you are at the top of the stairs, and this gentleman right here has a clear like line of effect to you being kind of out in the open as you are. So he like takes up this crossbow that he has like hanging like off of his back, and he takes aim at you, and he will fire. Holy shit. So he crit you for 14 points of damage.
Oh my god. Ow.
Which I believe you have 9 hit points.
Yep.
Oof.
So yeah, in front of you all, just kind of a little bit lower on the stairs, you see as a crossbow bolt wings through the air and impacts Bosing Baugh in the chest, and he kind of like wheels and falls to the ground.
Meanwhile, the guy in there is like, here I go killing again.
Oh, God.
Let me.
Fucking burst much. Holy shit.
I mean, I cannot believe that I actually rolled a crit on my first roll for an enemy.
All that talk about him being terrible at rolls is just clearly bullshit.
Is he
to
still
the-
going to be
a
on the
false
stairs,
sense
or
of
did he
security.
dramatically flop down them?
Yeah, okay. Let's say he like kind of dramatically rolls down to the feet of the stairs, and then this gentleman
ungracefully
is
falls
gonna
down
move
the
over
stairs with
here,
a fucking
like
crossbow in his fucking eye.
right, and this guy's gonna retreat back here to like sort of take cover at the edge of the altar.
Listen, but does he spill his beer?
Probably. I mean, if there was any left.
I mean, it's
alright,
probably
so
spelling out the hole that arrow left. That's sin.
can I get you on your character sheet? There should be a button for death saving throws.
Yeah. Did I just click one?
Yeah.
Oof, that's rough.
Okay, so yeah, you should be able to just mark one failure.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that is your turn. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Nah, that's all good. That is what it is.
Cass,
Fucking.
it's your go.
I believe I only have a movement of 30, right?
Yes, you can spend your action to double move to get further. Unfortunately, it happens to be that where like the beginning of the encounter occurred.
And this is what happens when the halfling charges in.
Yeah.
Listen,
So something you can
I
do
had
with
a
the
plan, it
ruler
didn't work.
actually is while you're holding it down, you can right click
was
to
a
create
terrible plan.
waypoints.
Okay, cool. Well, first of all, I hear. Did you scream or did you just fall over?
I mean, I pretty much just fell down the stairs going,
Okay,
fuck.
I can hear just the sound
The
of
fat
someone
half
falling
bouncing
over
down
and
the
echoing
stairs.
up the stairs.
Yeah.
So I see these two are already here, seeing what the problem is. So I am going to. I'll take the opportunity to actually double move, 'cause that's the best thing I can do. I'm going to put me here just now for a sec.
Yeah.
So that was 30 here, and I've got 20 from here, and
As an unrelated aside, Amaya, is it V-E-R-T or V-E-R-D, the pronunciation?
It's spelled W-U-L-D. It's pronounced V-I-R-T.
Okay.
So, Vert?
Simple.
Virt.
Vert.
so
Okay. Said it stuck in my head as Vert, like French for green.
No, Virtre, German for wild deer.
Ah, okay. Cool.
So I use my first action to move the 30 meters to 30 feet, sorry, to these guys and see that there's clearly there's a little bit of a on their face.
Yeah,
And I look down and I see Boating Ball lying at the bottom of the stairs with a fucking arrow in his chest, and I'm like, oh, I can't write a song about this. And I lunge. Oh God, no, not again! What the hell? Urgh. I lunge forward and jump down the stairs, and I land in front of Posting Ball too. And
Okay,
that's
cool.
me.
And so yeah, now that you are like fully in the room, like the room, like in here, like the air is heavy and stagnant, and it bears like the mingled scent of fresh blood and sulfur and old dust, and as I described for Shanks, like even though like the people that are like participating in the ritual have all mostly stopped chanting except for the man in the middle who is like holding up a knife and continuing to chant faster and faster, preparing to like plunge the knife into the body that's laying on the altar, there's still this strange like echoey like inhuman like chorus that fills the room with a low like ponderous chanting that is continuing the ritual on its own. And this gentleman that is holding the knife, despite what his token appears to depict, he is wearing what appears to be like a featureless gray iron mask with just two simple eye slits in it, and like almost seems to have like crenellations or something similar, like almost like think of like the mask that he is wearing is almost like a depiction of like the rook piece from like a chess set, which itself is not so dissimilar from the tower symbol that was burned into the priest's head.
Hmm.
um and yeah, he is like really in the middle of like doing the most right now as far as this ritual goes, and the rest of his minions are like preparing to fend you off. Also, you can see in this back corner here is a bunch of like crates and barrels and stuff that have been drug in here and just kind of stacked in the corner, which appear to be recent additions.
Okay.
Hillary, it is your turn for Lucina to act.
Right, I am going to get as close to Bosing as possible. I think I will need to use my action to move that far. Yeah, because 30 would put me just in front of.
Yeah. Yeah, it would put you right there.
So if possible, I would like to move to right here.
Sure.
And then for my bonus action, I am going to cast Healing Word on Bousing.
Okay. And so you speak, and is that that's your max, right? Yeah.
My
Okay.
max.
So yeah, you get 7 hit points back. You are no longer dying. You can clear your death saves, and you are now at 7 of your 9 hit points there, Shanks.
Okay, okay.
And you are laying prone at the bottom of the stairs, so on your turn you'll have to like stand up to do whatever, but you are back amongst the world of the living. You took a moment to enter kind of a dark and cold place, but here you are again. Your tiefling friend is standing over you, having like spoken like a word of power into the air that has returned life to your body. And now the bandits.
And now I get another arrow to the fucking chest.
Actually, that man is dead. The one leading the ritual continues to chant, becoming more and more fervent in his speech the longer it goes on. So that will be his turn. This guy over here, I think, realizing that you are a cleric of some description, now sees you as obvious threat and opens fire towards the stairs on the new arrival. Does an 8 hit you?
Nope.
All right, then the crossbow bolt like wings towards you, and either because you dodge out of the way or just because of poor aim, like the steel tip of the crossbow bolt clinks against the stone just to the left of you, and then clatters onto the stairs, and like the bandit curses, and then similarly will move to try to take cover at the ritual altar. And then this guy is going to move out over here to get a clear line of effect on the half-elf who has similarly entered the scene, and will likewise shoot at you with his ranged crossbow. Does an 18 hit you, Cass?
Where do I check this?
Armor class.
It would be your armor class. I'm assuming that it does.
My AC is 13, so yes.
All right, so you will take 6 points of damage.
Ow. Okay.
I didn't mean to have always whisper to the GM turned on. I'll have to figure out how to turn that off later.
It's in the settings. You go to the cog,
Yeah.
far right, whisper rolls to GM.
Why am I not seeing it?
Second option from the top in the far right hand box.
Huh.
Can you not see it?
Yeah, like when I click on the cog,
hmm
I have like my name and then advanced keyboard shortcuts.
What?
Or game settings.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. It's in the character
Yeah.
sheets.
Yeah, I don't have. I think I actually have to edit it from a different screen than this.
Okay.
I'll
we
fix
would,
it.
We would have to turn them off in our character sheets. Is that how it is?
No, I mean
Yeah.
I can see your rolls just fine. Like it's just for whatever reason all of my monster rolls were universally
Oh.
set to always whisper to game master, and like I actually prefer to roll out in the open, but I will fix that for next time. Meanwhile, we are back to Vert's turn.
Can I make called shots? Do you do called shot mechanics?
I guess it depends on what you're intending to get out of it.
So called shots basically you add to their AC, but if I make the thing, they suffer bad stuff. Right? So if I wanted to shoot for his hand, you would add 2 to his AC, but if I make it for 1d4 rounds, any attack rolls, ability checks made using the wounded hand suffer disadvantage. And he has to drop whatever he's holding.
I mean, I hadn't thought about it. If you guys would like to do that, we certainly can.
Here, I'll post it in here. If not, it's okay. I'm gonna shoot his. I want to try and shoot his hand though to make him drop the knife.
Sure, I don't see why we couldn't do this. Yeah, so you need to move down into the room so that you can get a clear shot on him. I'm assuming you were doing so.
Yes.
Okay, and you're just making the called shot. Do you have advantage in this situation? I don't.
If it's dark.
Oh, right, okay. And it increases his armor class by 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, like as you're aiming at the small target that is his hands and the knife that he's holding, the arrow streaks by just to one side, like to the extent that like you can see the fletching like brush against like the glove that he's wearing, but it
Ooh.
just like doesn't connect, unfortunately.
Okay, if that's the case, then I will move over and try and hide in the shadows that this fire is casting, I guess.
Sure. Go ahead and like roll stealth, I guess. Yeah, alright, cool.
11.
Avisa, it is your turn.
Okay. So I I guess I'm going to join the rest of the party. And, if I can click, I think I should have just enough to be able to move there.
Yeah.
But I don't really have any ranged weapons. I have spells. I'm assuming this list in the middle is what I have available.
Yeah, so you have quite the list available to you. And so looking at this, like of like useful attack spells in this case, like Ice Knife is pretty good. I think Earth Tremor. If you actually go over to your spells page here, Ice Knife says you create a shard of ice and fling it at one creature within range. Make a ranged attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing damage. Hit or miss, the shard then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet of the point of ice where the point of ice exploded must make a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 points of cold damage. Earth Tremor is actually centered on self. So, yeah, as far as ranged attacks go, I think Ice Knife might be your strongest option in this case because I think like Thunder Wave is a 15-foot cube that emanates from you.
Yeah.
So you would be able to like you could hit him and try to like knock him away with the Thunder Wave.
Or I could heal Ray.
Yeah, or you could give your bard friend a bit of healing.
Which, considering he's not looking so great, I might as well help the cleric out.
Thank you.
So I'll use Cure Wounds on Ray.
All right. So yeah,
Damn.
that should get you back to full there, Cass.
Hooray! Cat move.
All right. So, what does it look like when you cast Cure Wounds there, Avisa? Like, do you have a particular like idea in mind of what Siani's magic looks like?
I actually had not thought about that. I'm guessing just a soft sort of like healing type glow for healing type spells.
Sure. Like, does it have kind of like since you're a druid, does it have kind of like the trappings of nature with it? Is it like a like the stirring of a breeze or like like in World of Warcraft, like druid healing spells have like this kind of like green, like
Yeah,
leafy
green
aura.
leaf motif type thing. Yeah, I know what you mean. It could either be that she's a druid, or it could be more like a windish, purplish glow due to her storm aspect.
Oh, that's cool. Like like it's that like kind of like comforting summer breeze kind of vibe with a bit of
Yeah.
like the smell of like rain in the distance or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's rad.
Storm druids are badass.
So yeah, you get your health back there, Ray, and then the bandit who initially like shot the halfling like is like cursing under his breath and like frantically trying to reload the crossbow and then pops his head back up and like sees a whole bunch of targets lined up and really isn't sure who to shoot at this point. So I'm just gonna like right to left 1d4 who takes the bolt. It's gonna be the cleric again.
Oh god.
Poor cleric.
Does a 10 hit your armor class?
Yup.
So again, crossbow bolt whizzes past you, clinking off the stone, and the bandit swears again and ducks back down and starts frantically working the crossbow again.
Thank
Bo
Time
Sing
Lord.
Ba, it is time for you to get up off your ass and do something.
Right, so I stand up and like, holy shit.
Yeah. There's like a crossbow bolt that's still kind of like stuck in you. You got a little bit of like the bleeding going on, but you feel better. Like
I feel
You're
brand
not
new. Like
you're
I've
not
had worse
dead.
hangovers than this.
Right?
So I've got darts that I can throw.
Or
for,
you
like, a
could
ranged attack.
move in and like also try to punch someone too. Like
Can I move into like this guy here? I don't know how to do the little fucking
so
thing.
if you click and hold down, you can. So you want to run up there and hit him? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
and then like attack him, just unarmed strike.
So yeah, you can click the word unarmed strike and it'll roll the dice to the chat. Nice. That will definitely hit him. So if you click the word unarmed strike in the chat log, it will then roll damage. All right, so you hit him for 6 points of damage, and then I believe you have let's see here.
You should get
Would you-
Tavern Brawler.
When you use the attack action with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon on your turn, you can make one unarmed strike as a bonus action. So you can use your bonus action to actually attack him again.
Yeah,
Go for the
I'll
nuts.
do that. So did I just click unarmed strike again?
Yeah, just repeat the process.
And I'm guessing that hits him.
Yep, that also hits. So yeah, what does your martial arts style look like as you stand from the ground and then like bumble in and start like unleashing a flurry of blows?
Fucking drunken master over there.
So I'd like walk over to him and like hit him in the fucking knee to try and get him down to eye level, and then like uppercut him in the fucking jaw to try and like do some real damage.
Right, so
guess.
yeah, you give him a good like bap to the knee and he's like ah, and then like kind of like bends forward a little bit and then
Yeah.
you do like kind of a jumping halfling like shoryuken to hit him
Yeah.
again. Awesome. All right, I'm going to have him make a concentration check to see if he can maintain his composure. Okay, so a thing happens.
A thing. Oh boy, I
yes.
love things.
As you kind of like run in and you hit him in the knee, you leap and you kind of like hit him in the jaw, like all of you can feel it as like the cult leader's like concentration like slips and his hold on like the ritual that he was doing breaks, and it's like a palpable snapping sensation in the room as like energy that was like being constrained and like moved in a particular way like suddenly comes flooding out, and like unfortunately the ritual wasn't finished the way it was intended to be finished. So a small like burst like originating from the altar like drives these two like backwards from it and knocks them to the ground and does a small amount of damage to them. And unfortunately, the ritual sacrifice is similarly damaged by the explosion of the spell, and expires. But nothing further happens. Whatever the purpose of the rituals was supposed to be doesn't appear to have come to pass. Oh, and the room is suddenly filled with like the aroma of like sulfur and hellfire for a brief, terrifying instant, and then it fades as though like the portal that the ritual was attempting to conjure just isn't able to fully coalesce. Cass, it's your go.
It is. I take a moment to catch the scenery, see that my halfling friend is not really caring too much about the arrow in his gut right now, but it's okay. He's still moving. I am going to move. Let me check. Okay, I am going to move on top of the altar. And
All right.
I am going
And
to
perform a sick guitar solo.
hell yeah. I'm gonna
Whips
use
the bagpipes out. Fucking flames coming at one end.
I'm gonna use Thunderwave.
Hot damn.
So
All right. So how are you directing the thunder wave? I guess
mm,
because it's
Please tell me
it's a 15-foot cube that originates from you. Like you just have to be like on a side, right? Like
I thought it
wasn't
was
kidding,
originate from the center of me.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding, Cass. Pull out your lute and just rip a sick riff and just.
Thunder wave.
It's my bad. I assumed it was like a cube around
okay,
me,
yeah.
not-
So the um each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you. So the way I have always understood Thunderwave to work
See, I was
is
looking at it like that.
um
15 would be.
yeah, the way I have always understood Thunderwave to work is that it is yeah,
Oh.
like this square, but like whoops, I don't want to select all of the things. But like you are on a side and can like put your token in any square, but it's like directed this way.
Oh. Okay. Move, cat.
So like you could still like put it here and
Yeah, I
catch
was
these
thinking
two guys
there-
and send them flying towards the wall, right?
Yeah, that seems like the most logical solution here. So let me have a look real quick.
Don't worry, Cass. I also thought it was around you.
Yeah, I mean this is the way I have always understood the spell to work.
That's cool. As long as we're consistent with it.
Just trying to think of how I'm gonna do this. One sec. Haven't really thought this far ahead.
Thunder wave.
Thunder wave! Thunder
You
wave!
You could just play Thunderstruck.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just play Thunder Horse instead?
Thunder! Thunder wave!
Yeah, according to the player's handbook, you select a cube's point of origin, which lies anywhere on the face of the cubic effect.
Interesting.
The cube's point of origin is not included in the cube's area of effect unless you decide otherwise. So I guess technically you could say that like it is like this, but you would also be affecting yourself because it would be blasting back
Okay,
into the
yeah.
cube that you are also inside of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, mutually assured self-destruction. I dig it, Cass.
Yeah.
I see how
So, yeah,
I
you-
Mark
if-
liked to kill himself,
so-
but as soon as I walked in a dark set of stairs, I'm the fucking idiot.
So what you can do is you can just I think from your spell page you should just be able to click, or actually you can just click the attack thunder wave there and it'll put it to the chat and then it'll tell me what the DC is and it'll roll damage automatically. Okay, cool. So they have to make DC 14 Constitution saves. Let me.
So
I'll
for the
start
record, I
with.
jump up and start playing a sick riff on my flute. And
Fuck
then
yeah!
I slam my fist into the ground with the flute in hand.
Fuck yeah!
Thunder wave.
And then the
I
other
really
one.
need to hear black metal flute solos now.
Fucking hell.
Hillary,
Medieval
find me
death
some
metal.
black metal flute solos.
I'm on it.
I'm on it.
Consider it done.
Listen,
Maybe-
Hillary is the heavy metal master, okay?
Okay.
This is the way.
So yeah, you
This is the way.
it's 10 feet directly away. So this guy actually like dies and ragdolls into the corner as a result of your massive like toot from your flute.
Fucking do it, motherfucker.
And this guy manages to like hold fast and isn't blown backwards, though you can see like the sound wave like wash over him. Like I'm imagining that commercial for like high-end speakers from like back in the 90s or whatever, where the guy's like sitting in the chair and like barely
The
managing to
feet
keep
flapping,
himself.
The
Yeah.
fucking clothes like flapping about and shit. There
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
And he does take some damage, but manages to stay upright all the same. But like he doesn't look particularly happy about this particular development.
You just hear from in the corner, Vert going, 2.
And then I'll just move this over here, out of the way. And Lucina, it is your turn again.
Wait 1 second. I was looking at metal flute covers.
And also, like, yeah, a thunderous black metal flute note just like reverberated through this space, like perhaps being somewhat deafening to all of you, even those not necessarily at the point of origin.
I sat down. Hell yeah!
Oh yeah, motherfucker!
Just like fucking Fire Force, Shinra. Hell yeah!
Based off my passive perception, would I be able to tell if the sacrifice was a willing participant or unwilling?
They were not chained down. So
Okay.
What is your passive perception?
15.
Yeah, no, they were absolutely like game for this. It just clearly did not shake out the way that they thought it would.
Holy shit, do I have the highest passive perception here?
Most likely.
Interesting.
I am going to cast Sacred Flame on the leader.
All right.
Cantrips are level 0, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it came out as a spell card. Weird. Okay, so what is your save DC?
13.
Okay. And that is
Dex.
dexterity. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll a d8.
Nice.
Ow!
Holy shit.
That's my girl. Send him to the grave, hun.
I like this clinic. This is a good
So
clinic.
what does your sacred flame look like? Like how do you cast it, and what is the effect that befalls him as this like significant amount of damage like slams into this cultist?
Imagine it's like black flames with like red undertones to it. So like towards the tip of the flames, it glows kind of red, kind of like my horns.
Right.
And I would just point my quarterstaff at him with a look of contempt for what he was doing and send it flying at him.
Nice. And so you unleash this bolt of like black and red flame, and it slams into him, and for a moment almost seems to like lift him off his feet. And like when he kind of like comes out on the other side, there's like a bit of like smoke rising off of his clothing. And like I imagine that the sacred flame doesn't actually do any like lasting physical damage to his clothes or like the things that he's wearing, but there's like clearly it has done something to him like on a spiritual level that leaves him looking like way
death.
less healthy than he did a moment before. And so that being the case, and seeing that you are his clear like rival in this moment, he will turn and he will point towards you with like he takes up this like iron scepter from his belt that appears to have like kind of this tower or like bishop motif similar to his mask, similar to the thing that was burned into the priest's like the top of the priest's bald head upstairs. And he holds it aloft, kind of pointing at you, and like chants something in infernal, um, and will answer you with a sacred flame of his own. Can I get you to make me a dexterity saving throw, DC 11, please? All right,
Nice.
and sacred flame, as we all know, is unfortunately an all or nothing. So yeah, he speaks these words of power in infernal. Do you speak infernal?
I do.
Okay, so yeah, you hear him calling out to Lord Dispeter, show them the error of
Oh,
their
shit.
ways. And like for a moment it's like gaps in like reality seem to open, and like iron chains lash out trying to like whip you and break you, but they just like your will or your speed or something keeps them from finding purchase on you. And it's as though his god has abandoned him because nothing terrible happens despite his outcry.
We might have fucked up, guys. Dispater is a bad bitch.
Yeah, I am the superior priest in this instance. He can suck it.
Yeah, and so
The
this
talk back way. Take that, butch.
Take that, bitch.
An inferno.
This guy is gonna this gentleman over here is gonna try and shoot at the archer who's been lobbing arrows into the room with his crossbow.
Do I have like half cover from the dead body? I'm kneeling behind, or
Like holding up in front of you, like
Yeah,
his body shield.
Sure. I'll give you
sweet.
I'll give you cover. That gives you like a bonus to armor class. What is
+2 for half cover.
yeah, what's your armor class with +2?
15.
Okay. Yeah, the shot, like, I think it's like you kind of like push the body up a little bit, and like the crossbow bolt slams into the corpse that you're holding up for cover instead of connecting with you.
Nice.
And that brings it back to your turn.
I'm gonna counter snipe a bitch.
All right. So you let the body down, you take the bow up.
Ugh, 6.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Ugh.
the arrow goes wide. Perhaps it's just, the close quarters of the body you were just using as a shield
Yep.
was a little too cumbersome, but like you can't line up the shot. He kind of just dodges to the side real quick.
That's okay. I'm just gonna continue to Rambo hold this dude up with one hand like a shield.
Right.
I'm just getting visions of fucking Fire Force when he's using the masochist shield.
Yes, exactly.
He's got the body
Right.
held up in front of him. The
Yes.
fucking bow just sitting there ready to fucking unleash fury.
Yep. Exactly.
Siani, it is your turn again.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
You could, just as a for an example, you could use your bonus action to cast Shillelagh to like empower your staff and then run in there and club a bitch.
That's what I was thinking of doing. So I'll start with that. Do I have to click on that or?
So, the way I have it set up, like you have your regular quarterstaff attacks without Shillelagh cast, and then you have what should the
Oh,
third
I
one
see.
down is Shillelagh quarterstaff. Like I know what the spell does, and so like you don't need to put the spell card into the chat if you don't want to, but it does like it empowers your weapon. So like I guess the question I
Yes.
have then is what is that? What again? Is it the same kind of like does your staff crackle with like thunder, or like how do you kind of like manifest this additional like nature power into your wooden implement?
Would make sense. A look of thunder, some static or some sparks.
Sure, cool. And then yeah, you can just
Lightning. That's
nice. And then you can just move up to him, and then you can click that third one down to like make that attack roll.
And as this guy down at the bottom has been getting away with shit for too long,
Right.
I will go down to this one
Okay.
and do a sweeping attack with the quarterstaff.
Get him.
Get him!
Unfortunately, like he manages to dodge out of the way just at the last like second as you bring this like crackling staff in at him. Like he just like it's not that he deflects, right? It's that he's like, oh shit, and like ducks underneath it because he sees like his life flashing before his eyes, and unfortunately you miss.
I have deja vu.
Well, he's gonna try to
You should have
Maybe I
just
should just
thrown
throw
a
it.
bow at him.
defend himself against the attacker here. He drops his crossbow to the ground and he draws like his short sword and he swings back at you, and I don't imagine a 7 hits your armor class either.
No, it does not.
So yeah, it's a trade of like you sweep the quarterstaff and he ducks, he drops his crossbow, pulls out his sword, like swings back at you, like you parry with the staff, and like the two of you are like kind of like locked together, like making angry faces at each other.
The angriest of faces.
And then we're back to Bo Sing Ba.
If you don't scream parry this, you filthy casual, I'll be very upset.
Who, me or Visa?
You.
Alright, I'm gonna go for an arm strike on this cleric dude right in front of me. Seeing as my cleric saved my life, I'm not gonna take his shit trying to attack her. Like,
Right.
parry this shit filthy casual.
Get him.
Don't know what. Oh, no, sorry.
Oh
Yeah,
boy!
boy!
Fucking click that word there for your critical hit.
Parry this shit filthy casual indeed. Jesus.
Oh my god. So yeah, you like raging bull him? Like what does this look like?
Yeah,
like you leave him
I leap
you
at him
leave
with like
him with
all my
not a
might and just
single
like
hit point.
fucking try to like drop kick the fucker. I'm guessing I'll reach maybe his chest if I'm lucky.
Yeah, so you like jump, drop kick him, and like bam, and like
Yeah.
knock him staggering back against the altar. Like he's got 1 hit point left, man. Like, and you still
I can
have a
make
bonus
another
action.
attack.
You can try to finish him off.
You literally just kick him in the shin.
Fuck it. Violence seems to be the only thing these people understand.
Yeah, no, fucking roll that damage. Actually, you don't even have to roll damage. Like that is enough. Like no matter what, like you.
So as he's lying there against the fucking altar, I just walk up and give him the old fucking backhand across the jaw and finish him off, you know?
Bam! Like
Pimp slap.
Yeah.
okay, and so since you are a monk and you are making unarmed attacks, I'm going to give you the option in this moment. Are you killing him or are you knocking him out?
Oh, I'm taking his fucking head clean off, but you're gonna let me.
All right, yeah, okay. You backhand like pimp slap, and you see his head like whip to the side, and all of you can hear echoing in the room that distinctive sound of a broken vertebra.
Mess with my
Crunch.
cleric, and that's what fucking happens, cunt.
And he just slumps dead to the ground. Ray, it's your turn again.
It is my turn again. I am going to do a, seeing them already on the altar, jumping attack against the final one.
There's 2 more.
Is there two? Oh, there's one on my left. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I thought there was the next one. I'm
Yeah,
gonna do a
there's-
jumping attack against this
Wait,
one, because
After I take him out, I turn to Vort and go 3.
No, actually, you don't hear Vert go 3.
No,
No,
I
he
turn to
goes
you and
3.
say 3.
I know.
All right, go ahead.
Right, do I need to roll acrobatics, or am I just gonna roll my normal attack and just say I'm jumping?
Just roll your normal attack with advantage, because you're giving him like the leaping attack from high ground, and I want to reward the coolness. Good thing I gave you advantage.
Right?
Yeah.
Click that there rapier word.
Bam.
Ooh.
So, what does it look like when you kill this poor motherfucker?
I jump down and my through the air, and my rapier goes straight through his fucking heart, and I look at him as his head jerks up, just like, and I just go, just no. And then I'll just kick his lifeless body off my sword, and he'll hit the wall as well.
Slides back, hits the
Yep.
wall, like
Blood
there's a
going down as the body
yeah,
just
like
collapses.
blood trail along the wall as his body slowly slumps into a sitting position.
Exactly.
I know exactly what you're going for. Fucking wonderful. Lucina, there's one cultist left who is currently engaged with your druid friend.
3.
I'm going to Sacred Flame him.
All right. Okay, and then
Dexterity 13.
Unfortunately, this time, perhaps because he is actively like dodging and ducking like another assailant, he is able to avoid being scorched by your blackened red fire. And he that bandit in the order is dead, so it is back to Vert.
Okie dokie. We're gonna. Let's see, actually. 5, 10, 15. No, that wouldn't work. We're just gonna shoot the dude.
All right.
All the way from downtown.
All the way from back there. Wow.
Unfortunately, no. Just
Hmm.
missed. Skirts past the armor.
I am gonna, in preparation, because I'm pretty sure this badass druid is gonna take him out. I'm gonna start moving over here for something.
Okay. Siani, it is your turn. You've got your shillelagh in hand. He's got his sword in hand.
And as we're just mean mugging each other and trading blows, I'll go at him with the quarterstaff again.
Nice.
That'll hit.
Oh,
So yeah, if you just click the
Fucking-
word shillelagh quarterstaff there,
Yeah.
it'll roll damage. All right, you whack him with your magically empowered quarterstaff, giving him a good like ringing blow. He is like all but like knocked from his feet and is left like staggered and nearly defeated, and very weakly swings back at you with his short sword, trying
Well,
to answer the insult.
She still got a bonus action because Shillelagh is still concentration. She could spell attack him.
Oh yeah, I guess if she well no, because Shillelagh casting
I
Shillelagh just empowers your weapon and then it becomes a concentration spell, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't
So
think it.
what I'm saying is she doesn't have to recast it this turn, so she still has a bonus
Oh
action.
right, I don't know that she has a bonus action attack power though.
Oh, okay.
Unless she does, I can look really quick. I'm sorry, I shouldn't
That
get
chill
ahead
touch
of
though.
myself. I don't. Dexterity, Mark of the Wild. Don't know that any of your spells are bonus actions, unfortunately. Entangle? Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. No.
It's cool.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't think she has a bonus action that can be used to finish him off in this situation. So he's left with very little and isn't even able to muster the strength on his own turn to hit her back, right? It's a very weak like swing with the sword that like you don't really even have to parry. You can just kind of like step back from because it wasn't going to connect to begin with. And then Bo-Sing Ba. There's one man left in the room, and he is engaged with the druid.
I'm gonna try and like throw my dart at him.
please don't hit me.
Please.
I mean, that's the plan. Right.
Try not to. Do it anyway. Nope, that's gonna fucking.
Oof.
Holy shit, man! Like, all right, click that there damage for me, please. All right, yeah, and that is enough. You do you get him in the neck? Do you hit him in the eye? Like, how do you fucking
Right,
drop
yeah,
him with
like
your
just
dart?
pretty much just fucking hit him right between the eyes with a dart. Like, there you go.
Hey, pull it out of your pocket, just wing it, and just. So yeah, like
Yeah,
this
pretty
dart
much.
comes over your shoulder, slams between the eyes of the cultist that you were fighting, and he just teeters over backwards onto the ground with a thud. And like as the last of them dies, the kind of like weird like backmasked chanting that was like filling the room just like dies away, and the rest of that kind of like unnatural magical tension like completely breaks, and you're left in this like quiet dark room that smells of like blood and violence and
four.
Hang on. Hold up.
Yes.
That's 5. Like, try to cheat me, boy.
There were 4 fighters. You killed an old priest. Congratulations. In fact, I think you may be the only one of us who did not kill a fighting entity.
Hi, hold the fuck up. That dart
Technically,
finished him off.
Now, I'm fairly certain that was the druid.
Lies and slander, sir.
Oh my god. Oh.
Do you know what? Fuck it. I throw you a gold coin and say you can have it. I'm in a good mood.
Oh.
I put it in my mouth.
he'll just lean on
my
her staff and
God.
face the fuck out of it.
Oh my god, that's so fucking wonderful. Yeah, because it's like when he like there he was right. There were 4 people that carried stuff into the church.
Yeah.
The sacrifice of the priest were already here, so he didn't see their tracks. But you were also right that there were at least 5 people in the room when you made the bet.
I know.
So it's just like we're already on this place where the 2 luck gods are fucking with each other. But yeah, so in the meanwhile, like you've put a stop to the ritual. The cultists lay dead, as I've described. Like in the back corner there are several like crates and barrels and other things that like appear to have been drug in here and stashed recently before this whole situation that you've interrupted started. Like the body that was laying on the altar, like that person is
Very dead.
likewise
Yes,
very dead. Like his chest like exploded when the ritual went wrong.
Like to imagine Boosing Ball like covered in fucking gore, like
Where's my beer?
I'm gonna need another fucking drink after this shit, Jesus Christ.
He's got the Homelander face.
So,
Where's my beer?
So actually, as this is all ending, I need to go do something. Having pretty high passive perception, I probably got a good view of everything that happened in there, right?
Sure.
I've got to go up to the cleric who had every attack against her miss, and just
Right.
kind of kneel down and thank Bashaba for her grace in sparing this woman the harms of the battle, because obviously Bashaba was watching over her.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That is very fair.
So you see Virt come over to you and like pull out his little Blair Witch talisman and just like start reciting this thanks in front of you, and it probably looks very strange.
You should probably roll a religion check and see if you actually know what the fuck he's doing.
Certainly do that.
Oh, I was gonna say if you roll low, he's just being a fucking. Yeah, I was gonna say if you roll low, he's just being a fucking weirdo.
I mean, we're all a band of weirdos here, so.
So yeah, you clearly understand that he is doing some sort of like serious religious rite to a deity that, as far as you know in polite society, is one of ill omen and bad luck and very like I feel like a lot of Bashaba's rituals are coded very like, you know, neo-pagan or whatever.
Extremely, not even neo-pagan, just straight up old world pagan.
Yeah.
I will place a gentle hand on his shoulder and say, "Thank you very much for the prayers to your god. I appreciate her protection greatly."
Damn, that's hot. Nobody likes Bashaba, okay?
I'm gonna fucking quietly scoff to myself and say, "Oh, that's fucking rich. The god of bad luck is like for all that good luck to happen. Clearly, Timora had a hand."
Bashaba,
Oh no.
Bashaba has spared her from the bad luck which could have befallen her. We should be grateful for her presence.
It makes sense.
Sure. We're all grateful for Lady Luck's presence today.
Oh, good lord.
I
I
love
love the needling.
I make a small chuckle and go, ha, ha, maybe one day she'll give you luck with your gambling debts. Maybe.
One can only hope.
Perhaps if you did not pray to a false god of luck, you would have a better chance.
To
Luck is a
the,
fickle goddess to follow, and then I'll like just walk away chuckling to myself.
I'm going to let the children bicker about their various luck gods and say prayers for all the dead bodies, mostly to ask Kellamvor to judge them appropriately for their egregious actions.
Right.
I asked Lucina if
Definitely.
she needs a hand, as there's quite a lot of bodies and we need to deal with them all.
Yes, I would appreciate that greatly.
Very well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually do
I'll
have a
check the
serious.
supplies for drink.
I actually do have a serious question for the people who want to dispose of the bodies. Like, what were you thinking? Because I can get rid of them, but you probably wouldn't like it.
It would have to be a semi-respectful burial. Like, I'm not going to mark their graves or anything, but I'm at least going to put them in the ground.
Okay, see, because as a ranger, I'd probably just slit open their stomachs and hang them from trees so that the local wildlife could feast on them.
I think my god might have a problem with that, so I would not be willing to participate.
Fair.
Visible shock, like No,
As a druid
no,
would
no.
probably be okay
We
with
can't do
this.
that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
Considering-
the druid would probably be cool with it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like if I'm making a vote at this, it'd probably be 3 against 2. Just saying.
Seems like. I mean, like, you could also pyre the bodies too, right? Like, I don't think Kellamvor is gonna be like. In times of dire need, like he'll probably
Throw the
accept
body
that.
down the well, so
I
my
mean,
temple can be
From the
cleansed.
earth back to it.
Yeah.
I think that would be fair. We could go build a funeral pyre and just burn them.
We've already
Yeah.
got one upstairs.
That is
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
that-
priest specifically. That
I
is
don't
not.
know.
That's too honorable for these bastards.
I see.
I'm pretty sure I seen a big open space on the concrete outside. We could make a decent pyre for these.
Yeah,
bodies.
you could probably collect like brush and sticks from the overgrown yard, and you could make like a fucking burn pile for the cultists. That's not
Yeah.
hard.
From what I understand of Torm, I don't think he'd appreciate his kiln being used from the people that desecrated his temple.
No, unlikely.
What's in this shit down here, yo?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
okay.
I just say that I check it for drink.
So
the bigger
you don't.
question is, are we going to search these guys for valuables?
Oh yeah, I assumed maybe. Well, I should ask the death priest. Are you going to go through their pockets? Are you going to let people go through their pockets?
Anybody attempting to, one, out of a matter of respect for the dead and respect for my god, and two, because these fuckers aren't going to have anything on them worth having because it's all tainted.
Can I make a stealth check to
Nice.
see if I can look?
Oh my
bodies
god,
without
your
a
shadow
torch?
heart.
No.
Yeah,
More
but she's a less
pragmatic.
terrible shadow heart.
Can,
That's
more
not- that's
pragmatic
not
person.
hard.
They're
Can I make a
dead. They
stealth
sure
check
as
to see
hell
if I
don't
can look
need
the
it
bodies without
anymore.
her noticing? Like,
Yeah, I mean we can get to that, but
That's
like
more. That's more.
I'll
sleight of
start
hand,
with what's over here in the corner, right? The equipment that you find like amongst the crates and barrels and stuff that's been brought in. Like there's like nails and horseshoes and like the stuff that you would find in a blacksmith's inventory. If there is a particular like piece of metal equipment that's not like plate mail, but like a suit of chainmail or like a short sword or something like that you want, you would be able to like find it here amongst these things and could take something like that for yourself within reason. Like but also amongst the goods that you find here, you also find a small leather satchel that they apparently also stole and threw it over here that contains let's see here, what did I have written down?
Oh shit, how much gold did we get from last game?
a lot.
It's
From,
in the
from fleecing that woman.
it's in the chat, or it's in the Discord. You find a small leather satchel which contains 2 malachites worth 10 gold pieces each, 2 potions of healing, and a scroll of sleep.
Mm. Who's taking it?
Probably the arcane spellcasters.
I pinned the loot that we won the last time, so you can have a look at it in the pin.
Actually, that means Cass, it's you. You're the only arcane spellcaster in the group
Oh.
Yeah.
for now.
Okay, so in my house rules, I do actually allow people who aren't like, I allow anybody to attempt to use a scroll. It's easier for people that have the spell on their spell list don't have to roll unless it's above their spell level. People who can't cast spells normally that try to use a scroll have to make arcana checks, and bad things happen if you fuck up.
Okay. Ooh, from the last game, I definitely want that dragonfly pendant and that vulture pendant.
But yeah, that's the junk that she stole. And then so here you basically have all of like the tools and like metalworked goods of like a blacksmith's inventory scattered amongst
So,
several boxes and
Are
barrels.
you allowing us to take one item each?
You can take whatever the fuck you want.
No,
That's between y'all.
because I don't. I am proficient in hand crossbows, but I don't actually have one.
Okay. Oh, so unfortunately, I will say a hand crossbow would be beyond the ability of this particular blacksmith.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
But you could take one from the dead body.
They had light crossbows.
Oh. So 2 hands instead of 1 hand?
But you could still grab a light crossbow for one of the dead cultists. They all had short swords and light crossbows. The leader had like a ritual dagger and his weird like scepter mace that he apparently also could use as a brand to like burn Dispeter's symbol into someone's skin.
Ha! Funny that.
Would I
Yeah,
be able to find maybe a quarterstaff in this shit, or would that not?
Yeah, I think you could find a staff in that. Like, why not?
I mean, I'm only small. Could probably just be like a fucking length of iron for something.
It's
Yeah, you find yourself a simple like iron pipe or something, and just
Yeah.
like this'll work.
It would be a one-handed weapon for anyone else, but for me, it's a fucking quarterstaff.
Yeah,
Man.
it's a one-handed iron shod club for anyone else, but for you, it counts as a quarterstaff. That's fair.
Yeah, so I'll take that.
back in a sec.
And so yeah, now you just have the matter of like carting the bodies up and out, and dealing with that if you want to help the death priest in her duties, and carting like the boxes and like crates and whatnot up and out and putting them back into the cart that they were taken out of in the first place, so that you can take them out of this place with you.
I quite quickly take it upon myself to go and gather some like sticks and like stuff to start building the pyre, because I would
Yeah.
be fucking useless at dragging bodies out of this place. And
Sure.
Yeah. I'll help carry
like that.
bodies and equipment.
I will help as well.
I'm also gonna take a whole bunch of arrows if there are any in the boxes. I know we're not counting ammunition, but
I'm going to help the halfling because he can't see in the dark and keeps forgetting this.
Yeah, I need my Tard Wrangler. Get over here, lad.
I am your Tard Wrangler.
So yeah, you're able to actually. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, here is something that you can find in amongst the things that people might consider taking. Because it just occurred to me, like El Terrell and its surrounding cities serve the Order of the Companion and the Hell Riders, which are specifically like paladin orders that fight demons. So in amongst the things, as you're loading some of the boxes out and you're moving bodies, you would be able to find there are 2 very nice looking swords, one a short sword and one a long sword, which are silver plated.
that means it counts as magical for the purposes of overcoming
Damage
resistances,
reductions
right?
against demons and devils.
Okay.
And you find a quiver of 15 arrows that have similarly been silver plated. And
Fuck
with
yeah.
with specialized ammo like this, I will have you keep track.
No worries. Silver arrows, right?
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay, see the
It's
box
okay,
with
I-
Marcus. Can you put a list into Discord of what it is so we can sort it out?
Sure.
One of my other games actually did have ammo tracking, so I'm used to doing it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, fucking having to buy ammo every goddamn time you were in town, pain in the ass.
We've got
Also, we should split up the stuff from last game between everybody else.
I was gonna say that we keep it all together for now.
Don't
Okay.
worry, I'll keep it. I'll keep it together. I'll keep a hold of it. You can trust
Alright.
me.
I've already taken. Yeah, I've already taken the 2 pendants. That's all I want.
That's fine.
You're a fucking
I'll
monster.
allow
but
it.
okay. I'm
Listen.
gonna make you feel really bad.
Okay, and then did you say like so then we get obviously like the vignette of like you gathering like the bodies together, like preparing the funeral pyre. Did I hear that like you wanted to try to like sleight of hand to see if you could
Like
check
loot
the
bodies
pockets of the
without her.
corpses
Yeah,
without her
without knowing.
noticing?
Yeah.
I can help with that too.
Sure. That'll be then like I'm assuming that like Lucida is vigilant about these kinds of things, yes?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it will be an opposed check of sleight of hand for those who want to try to like rifle through the pockets versus Lucina's perception.
So I'd roll disadvantage then.
No, you would just roll and whoever gets the higher result wins.
Okay. Well,
Rolls a fucking
shit.
2.
One. One.
Oh!
Shit as well.
It wasn't that
Fuck.
one, but it's still higher than yours.
God dang it, Bobby.
Okay. So I think here's what we the way we would characterize this scene then is you're helping move bodies, Vert, and Bosingbaugh, you're helping set up the funeral pyre, and as you're kind of like helping set up the pyre, you go to like reach into the pockets to check for stuff, and Lucina, you catch him doing this. Like, do you chastise him? Do you slap his hand? Like, what do you do when you realize that he's trying to go through the pockets of these cultists?
Hand out of the pocket and stand over him menacingly with my hands on my hips, and the ultimate mom voice just lecture him up and down, up one side, down the other, about how wrong it is to raid the pockets of the dead, and would you, care if somebody did that to your mother, and it's an absolutely abhorrent activity to partake in, blah, 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 blah.
Right. And so while you're doing that to Bosing Ba, Vert, you are able to like sneak in and do what he wanted to do without her noticing because she is already distracted.
Can I be like the little brother and just like put my finger over my nose and like do the wiggling fingers kind of thing at him
Yeah.
after I do it?
Just sit there like rubbing the middle finger on your eyes like after you've looked at
yeah.
the pockets like haha the kid you get caught and I didn't.
Exactly.
So like my reaction to that would be I'd put on my most innocent smile, which is like not very innocent at all, and I'd shrug my shoulder and say, "Oh, Timora loves the Chancer."
Right.
And after she's done chastising him and like she walks away, just like as I'm walking past him, I'll just go, "That was some bad luck on your part."
It's almost like I've got a heretic in the party. God.
So
I'm
yeah,
assuming
to add on then, like here between the cultists, they have an embroidered silk handkerchief worth 10 gold pieces, a copper ring with silver filigree worth 15 gold pieces, and they carry 5 gold pieces, 30 silver pieces, and 46 copper pieces between them.
Ooh, look at all that stuff I get.
I'm assuming
Hold
Lucina
up.
would
What
object
does
to me
your
coming
distraction get? Come on.
What-
during
Hang on.
one of the crossbows and some bolts.
Yeah, how do you feel about them taking weapons, Lucina? Actually, you know what? You can get a regular crossbow from the blacksmith's goods. Like we don't even have to like go in.
Those cultists were using crossbows anyway, so like.
Oh yeah, I mean like they were
we could
the
take that
cultists
one.
were probably actually the crossbows they were using were probably crossbows they stole from the blacksmith.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you can easily get yourself a crossbow and some ammunition.
As I don't have one of those, yeah, I'll take one of those.
Sure. Makes sense. And so yeah, again, like time passes, you burn the cultists' bodies. Because you uncovered the trap earlier, and dealing with the trap is just as simple as making sure that like the tension is not released the way it was set to be. I don't think it's necessary.
Because we knew about it, we basically found a way to do it without like.
Yeah,
triggering the trap.
yeah, and so you're able to like lay the priest to rest in the way that he should be. And then like I don't know, like an hour or two is probably about the amount of time it takes for you all working together to like deal with the bodies and then get like the stuff loaded into the wagon. And the mules were still with the wagon when you showed up, so you don't have to worry about trying to wrangle them and bring them back. So from there, I guess you're just gonna head back to the blacksmith and
Yeah.
bring him his
Uh,
things back.
I'll drive the cart because I've got pretty good.
That's a
animal
good point.
handling.
How are we going to move this car?
Actually-
We're gonna have to pull it out a
Actually,
lot.
this is where I come in because I'm the only one who has proficiency in land vehicles.
Yeah. So like between the two of you, like you make an incredibly competent jockey, but one of you is good at dealing with wagons and one of you is good at dealing
Yeah.
with mounts.
Can I sit on top of all the loot and start like yelling mush at the bard and the fuck what?
Sure. So
Right,
you know
I
what
love
I
it.
imagine here is that we probably have like Vert and Ray both like sitting next to each other on the seat up front, and Vert is like talking to the mules, and Ray is actually like holding the reins or whatever because he understands how to drive like a cargo wagon or whatever. And I'm not gonna like the animal handling check is enough to get the animals calm, and unless something unfortunate happens where you have a random encounter on the road, I'm not going to require a drive check to make sure that you get to where you're going, because you're not doing anything particularly risky by simply like having a Sunday drive, even if the road is a little on fire.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, you return to the blacksmith and you find the beardless, now tragically sober dwarf.
Actually, we do need to discuss that. Are we planning to take these two along with us to our two other stops?
No, we should make a stop back at the town square to drop this stuff off and let these guys rest.
I agree.
As my input.
We should
Yeah, because you'll remember the blacksmith's leg was actually a little injured.
we should drop him off. Blacksmith's family will be worried about him as well. So
But yeah, you find as I said, the now sober beardless dwarf and the aging blacksmith who is like a buff old man built like a fucking brick shit house with a now like bound injured leg.
Fucking
Who-
old man Kazuki.
Yeah, who like gets up with like the crutch that he fashioned himself while you all were busy fighting in the basement of a temple, and he kind of like staggers towards the cart and he's like, "Ah, you found my wagon and my mules and my goods."
I stand on top of it, triumphant, and say, "Yes, sir. It was no trouble at all. Easy. Just another day for me and my lackeys here."
Are you like striking a pose, like hands on
Yeah,
hips
like
or
hands
whatever?
on hips, like hands
Yeah.
on hip, head raised high, like ha! It was just another day for me and my lackeys here.
So yeah, and he kind of like squints at you as he says that, and he's like, "Ah, so says the blood stain in your shirt there, boy."
Ah, yeah. I was hoping you wouldn't notice that.
Kind of hard to miss what with the whole, and he kind of like does a thing where he's like waggling his finger, like if he had a hole in his shirt he would put his finger through it,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
doesn't, and he's like, "But
So
I thank y'all just the same for getting my goods back." So we be moving on then back to the town square where they're gathering.
makes sense to me. What do you guys think?
Works for me.
Where were the two other places that we were trying to go? Sorry, hon, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. I was just gonna say I think it'd be best to drop him off with his family, and then we can proceed from there.
So out of character, the other two locations that you were told about by Dara and Gorin are the old mill, which is down by the river, and was a place where you might be able to find like grain or other food supplies, and the inn on the edge of town called the Fabled Fawn, where there might just happen to still be survivors, and even if there's not, again, you might be able to collect like barrels of alcohol or potable water, or again like food, or maybe blankets or something like that if the inn is intact. Things that refugees are going to
Would
need when they make
yeah, it
a
would help us on
several
our
day
journey.
journey. Yeah.
It makes more sense to drop them off at the town square with all the
Yeah.
stuff we've already found, and then we can figure out what we want to do for there.
So yeah, you help them into the back of the cart then, I presume, and we get a brief little traveling scene, and then you arrive back at the town square where like there was like maybe like 10 to a dozen people when you were there last time, including like Goran and Dara, and like a few more people have shown up since, and like a few like carts have been like rounded up, and they are beginning the process of like getting like wagons and carts and animals together to like help the infirm like make the journey. People are like grim faced, but persevering as best they can, and Dara, like the priestess of Ilmater, is like still in the town hall, like continuing to recite the prayer that keeps the building safe from devils and demons. And we probably get like a camera focus on her for a moment where like it's obvious that she has continued praying the entire time that you've been gone, and she's actually at this point beginning to sweat blood, and Goran is with her like dabbing her forehead and like holding out a bowl with water in it that she can drink from when she needs it, and only leaves her side when he hears you arrive, and the people in the crowd start being like, they've returned, and then like this little boy like breaks from the crowd and runs towards like the wagon, and he's just like, you found Pa!
I hop off the wagon as it slowly starts to come to a halt, and I give the guy a little pat on the head and kneel down next to him and just go, "All right, little guy, here, I have something for you." And I hand over the pouch full of things that we took from the looter.
Yeah.
And I said, "I think some of these might belong to you and your mom, and maybe some other things from everyone else."
Yeah, and he kind of looks at the bag with all of the stuff in it. Less the stuff that Amaya took, I guess. And he's like, "Oh, what's all this shiny?" And he just kind of like turns and he's like, "Mom, look!" And he like holds the bag out with like the gold and like the silverware and all of the other junk in it.
So they're like, hold up, man! Like, stop showing that shit off. It's probably like belongs to some of these people.
Yeah, and like
steal it off a thief. You know what I mean?
Right, and the kid starts like running over to his mom with the bag unless someone stops him. Like, it seems like the things have been returned to the people.
Yeah. Hold the fuck up. Like, wait a minute. That's my gambling seeds. Come on, back here, man.
I mean, you're gonna have to run over there and take it.
I would try to stop him, but he would already be on his way before I could get off
Yeah.
the fucking wagon. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
The fuck are you lagging for? They're good.
Sorry, we can't all have like 5 gig per second fucking uploads. Yeah.
But yeah, so
how does the crowd react?
I mean, they're quite pleased with this development of having their stolen goods returned to them. So.
Would you even say it's a small bit of a public celebration?
Yes, I think I would say that people are quite delighted to find things that were left in their homes returned to them unexpectedly.
Good.
There goes the metal flute solo.
Another black metal flute solo to commemorate the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think from here we've gotten our like 3.5 hours or so roughly out of the session.
Yes.
We can pick up next time going to one of the other 2 locations in town. I'm gonna go ahead, even though you haven't taken a rest. Actually, you can probably take a short rest here if you wanted to.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna go
I
ahead.
assumed we would at least take a short rest here. So.
Yeah, and so if you have anything that you get back on a short rest, you would get that back, and I'm gonna go ahead and provide you with the experience points that you would
Sweet.
get for having dealt with the temple. So for encountering or otherwise circumventing the trap in the main temple hall, plus the bandits that you dealt with, the cult fanatic that you dealt with, and actually disrupting the ritual and preventing the spined devil from being conjured into being, each player will gain 180 experience points.
Sweet.
You will become second level once you have 300 experience points, so you are over halfway there.
Nice.
Now further, I believe, obviously our two luck-aligned fools definitely met their requirements to increase their piety score by 1 each in this session. I'm actually going to further award Shanks 1 additional piety point for wandering down those stairs and then promptly being dropped to 0 hit points.
Oh my god.
Obviously, our Death Priestess has gone above and beyond in the service of her deity, so I will likewise award you 2 piety points, because I don't feel that Kelemvor would have been upset if you had left those cultists of Dispeter to rot in that basement, but you chose not to.
Oh, thank you.
And likewise, I'm going to award 2 piety points to the Bard for continuing to be like a spot of sunshine for the party, but also the unexpected let's return all of the loot that I gave you to the people who it actually belongs to.
Yeah.
Minus.
And you know what, actually, Amaya, you can have another piety point, because I forgot about your scene chewing experience of like walking over to Hillary and being like, thank you, Bashaba, for not allowing this person to befall any harm.
Listen,
Ooh.
listen. Every attack missed her. There was like 5 attacks that came toward her. They all missed. It's like that scene from Pulp Fiction where Samuel L. Jackson sits down and he's like, "No, listen, man. It was fucking God. All right."
Right. Yeah.
And then, Avisa, for your part, your deity values traveling to new places and helping your fellow travelers on the road. So I will award you 2 piety points for doing what the weird demon man said, and then just going along with the people that you met when you got there.
I feel like Avisa is the
Like
most
very
chilled
roped
person.
along.
The most chilled person in the world. Like, she's just been sitting in the fucking fields getting high, man, and this guy's came out of nowhere, like, "Hey, come with me." And she's like, "Oh, fun girl, let's go, man."
Yes.
So yeah, I believe several of you will have hit your 3rd piety point and
Yes,
will have gained your first piety ability,
So
which
the
usually...
one thing I completely forgot about is that I could have gave a load of people bardic inspiration.
Yeah, that's a thing that bards can do.
Yeah, I was too busy playing my black metal flute solo. Fuck off.
Hey, it's
He was
understandable.
too busy giving himself bardic inspiration for that, like,
So
fucking
the thing
badass
is,
flute solo.
right now that I have at least 3, I can use this inspiration like crazy, because as long as I make someone's, is it smile? You
Well-
gain inspiration when you make someone
Okay.
laugh or smile.
That's different than
So-
bardic inspiration.
Here's the problem. There are 2 mechanics that have the same name. Basically, there's regular inspiration, there's bardic inspiration. I believe I gave everybody inspiration at the end of last session and nobody
Yeah.
used it.
Yeah. we
Your
didn't-
inspiration that you click at the top of your character sheet, you can spend at any time to give yourself advantage on a single roll, or there are a couple of other uses that I've added in my house rule document that you can spend your inspiration on, and you regenerate your inspiration by good role playing and being in character, or now most of you have your first piety ability, which gives you an additional method by which to farm inspiration. Your bardic inspiration is a specific class resource that you're going to need to keep track of because that refreshes at specific times.
Okay, no, I do have it here on the thing. It says I've got 4 bard.
Every short rest, I think, right?
I think it's a short rest. But yes, I believe that is all of the necessary bookkeeping taken care of for the time being.
You can see it.
I believe
The time
so.
being.
Yeah, next time we play, and like I said, I will be available next weekend from like 2 to 5 if we wanted to play again, or the week after, like
Next weekend. Next weekend. Next weekend.
I'm good for next weekend.
Yeah.
and
I can make it as well.
yeah, next time we can visit one of the other 2 locations in town, and we can figure out what's going on there. Maybe once everybody kind of gets like fully in with the rule set, we can get going a little faster if there's combat, and we can maybe do more than one thing next time. Like, I had a lot of fun, but yeah, combat bogs down a little bit the first time people do it. So
Yeah. When as you do more though, you'll get better and better. Now, once you like learn what your shit does, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
What even is a bardic inspiration anyway? God.
Marcus, can I ask you to check my character
Actually,
to make sure I've done that
Cass,
quarterstaff right?
yeah, actually,
Yeah.
Cass, if you need help with anything, I played a bard for like 3 years.
No, I believe it. I'm gonna have a nose. You've told me this as well. So.
Okay.
No, it's fine. I've just not looked over it too much. That's all. I just forgot completely.
And shout out goes to Hillary for finding that fucking thunderstruck flute solo.
yeah,
Mhm.
that appears to be correct.
The easiest way to understand it, Cass, is it's basically bless. So you give inspiration to someone, and they just roll one of your hit die and add that number to whatever they're doing.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you got it right.
Nice. Basically just copied the fucking unarmed strike except done it with the quarterstaff shit.
Yeah, and then just made it the quarterstaff damage.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, that looks good. I know you've got a beaten stick.
Yeah, I have a metal stick that is basically just a pole for anyone else.
I'll move everybody back to the landing page. And get rid of the turn order. But yes, I hope everyone had a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I had a good laugh.
I was kind of like I was a little worried at the beginning when you guys were like overly cautiously approaching the temple. I'm like, oh god, if they take this long, this is gonna take forever. But thankfully, you
Stupid
have a
halfling to the